Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tubes Taylor and I am your host for the 2018 William Leitch Medal. Thank you very much for attending. It's a real treat for me and an honour to be here to be your MC for this evening. As some of you know, last year I hosted this very night. I was sitting by my phone waiting quite attentively because my partner was pregnant. She's not anymore, which is good. She wasn't releasing the baby for another 4 weeks, so I had nothing to worry about, and I was so nervous. But obviously you can see me up on the big screen here, and I have brought my dad bod along. I can't do up my jacket, so please don't ask me to. But I will just welcome you officially to the 2018 William Leitch Medal. Couple of housekeeping items. There is no smoking in the building since about 1994. But if you do need a cigarette, you can go out the door about 3 metres away from the main entrance outside. Toilets are just out the door directly in front of you. Please switch off your mobile phones or turn them to silent. And that is about it. I would like to now officially welcome the President of the SFL, Madeline Ogilvie, for her introduction.
I'm not quite as tall. I'll have to put it down a bit. Thanks for that, Tubes. And yeah, congratulations on becoming a dad, because I remember that night. And you were sweating on that happening, weren't you? But it's a great result. And now there's no sleep for the next 10 years. So sorry to tell you that. Welcome everybody tonight to our William Leitch Medal Night, which is really the night of nights for SFL. And every time we gather here, and we've seen it grow from those first days when we restarted it about 5 years ago into what now is really quite a marvellous night, both for the men and the women's competition, of which we are particularly proud. Our William Leitch Medal Night brings us together to celebrate and to acknowledge the work of the year in football, to recognise our clubs, to recognise our presidents, all of whom are volunteers, and the work they do for our communities. We also would like to recognise a few dignitaries and special people in the room. Madam Speaker, well, former Madam Speaker, yes, and now Minister and Attorney General, Elise Archer. But her most important title, of course, is SFL Ambassador. And I should note that out of all the politicians, Elise is the one that comes every time. She comes to the games, she comes to the events, she comes to the lunches. And we're very, very grateful for your work. Thank you. We have Trish Squires from AFL Tasmania and Damien Gill. Trish, thank you so much for coming. Still feels a little bit high. Thank you so much for coming and for working with us during the year to get the foundations of community football into place. And I know it hasn't been easy, but I think you'll see by tonight how important it is to everybody, and we're very grateful for your engagement with us here tonight. We have partners that we'd like to celebrate and thank as well, Telstra in particular. Our relationship with Telstra and the League has now spanned 5 years. The work that they do with clubs and what they have been able to provide to our clubs and players has been fantastic. That relationship will change as we grow and move into a hubs structure. We're looking forward to a broader and deeper relationship, not just with Telstra, but with our other sponsors and stakeholders as well. I'd like to just give a special note of thanks to the man of the day and the night in particular, who's brought all of this together and who works so tirelessly for us during the year, pulling together our grand final in particular that we're looking forward to this weekend, and that's Tony Gibson. Tony, a round of applause. We actually could not run the league to this level without Tony, and we're particularly grateful that he took the risk and came on board with a structure that we put into place in the south. And the mere fact that we're all here tonight celebrating yet another fantastic year of football is really down to Tony's work. There are a couple of other people who really keep us pumping, and that's important to acknowledge. Dave Harding, our photographer. Could you just stand up, Dave? A round of applause for Dave. He runs our social media. We just love him. He's part of the family, so I really wanted to make sure that he had a good acknowledgement in the room. Tubes, of course, we love everything that you do on the media side. And Duff, where are you? Hiding, probably filming. Duff, over there, and an applause for our media team, please. Thank you. I'd also like to just acknowledge the executive of the SFL, and I want to do this. You all know Kyron Johnson. Come on, KJ, hand in the air. Yeah, give him a round of applause. He loves it. Come on, round of applause for Kyron. And just to underline that your league, our league, has never been stronger. It has never been more financial. It has never had so many clubs, so many players, and it's never had a women's competition. Special call out, Jodie and the girls who, I think you're down the back in case you get a bit rowdy, but a special call out to the women who've worked so hard in this second year of our women's competition to bring that on. And I know it hasn't been easy. We receive no government funding. What we do for love and volunteerism and communities, and I know that's why you're all here tonight, apart from the fact that you love to play football. We have had ups and downs this year. It hasn't all been easy sailing. And what I would like to say is that I'm really proud of the culture of our league and our clubs. And when things get tough, how we work together, we come together and we find solutions to problems. And that's enabled us to really grow this league and grow this competition. So, there will be some changes next year when it comes to rep games and how we organise those. We've conducted a review and it's a positive outcome. We will see a little bit more resourcing go into those, and we're looking forward to working with the presidents and the clubs around that. So, look, I take really a great deal of personal pride in where we've got to from 5 years ago, where I think Kyron and I would say we met in a room up here and there wasn't a lot of structure and organisation underpinning the league. And today we give you the strongest league in the south of the state. And if you just take a look around at the people who are in this room, I think we should all feel deeply proud of what we've built together. So with that, I will officially launch the proceedings of the William Leitch Medal Night. Invite you all to charge your glasses and get ready for a great night. Good luck to everybody who's up for an award tonight, particularly all of the players, without whom, of course, there is no football. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madeline. I'll also echo your sentiments about the strength of the competition. In the years that I've been living in the south of the state, I don't think there's been a more even contest across the Southern Football League. So congratulations to all of those teams that are playing in the finals this week, but also to every team that takes the field week in, week out throughout the SFL roster series. I did just have to mention about, I forgot a little bit of stuff about housekeeping. Not operating at full capacity up here at the moment, given the sleep that I've had over the last 11 months. But dinner will be served as a buffet style. Myself or Tony Gibson will come around to the tables to ask you to head up to the buffet. So please just wait to be called to the buffet for your meals. It's now my pleasure to introduce our announcer, David Banks from the New Norfolk Footy Club. He has done a huge amount of work. He's the best counter in the business from 3 to 1. So please put your hands together for David Banks.
Good evening, everyone. Now, as we go through, if I pronounce something a little bit oddly, I apologise, but every now and then we get a curly one. So we'll start with our under-18 Colts. Round 1. New Norfolk versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, J. Coleraine, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, R. Thomason, New Norfolk. 3 votes, C. Morgan, New Norfolk. Southern Storm versus Claremont. 1 vote, P. Bastick, Southern Storm. 2 votes, N. Clifford, Southern Storm. 3 votes, G. O'Neill, Southern Storm. And Hobart, Huonville Lions and Cyril had the bye. We now move to round 2. Claremont versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, Z. Wheeler, New Norfolk. 2 votes, B. Triffett, New Norfolk. 3 votes, R. Franklin, New Norfolk. Sorrel versus Southern Storm. 1 vote, B. Carter, Sorrel. 2 votes, N. Clifford, Southern Storm. 3 votes, M. Bastick, Southern Storm. Huonville Lions versus Hobart. 1 vote, W. Muscat, Hobart. 2 votes, J. McDonald, Hobart. 3 votes, L. Barwick, Hobart. And Lindisfarne had the bye. Now move to round 3. New Norfolk versus Sorrel. 1 vote, C. Kelleher, New Norfolk. 2 votes, R. Franklin, New Norfolk. 3 votes, B. Triffett, New Norfolk. Southern Storm versus Huonville Lions. 1 vote, B. Pike, Huonville Lions. 2 votes, W. Polly, Southern Storm. 3 votes, J. Code, Southern Storm. Claremont versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, C. Coles, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, J. Coleraine, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, L. Swinton, Lindisfarne. And Hobart had the bye. Round 4. Huonville Lions versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, T. Rainbird, New Norfolk. 2 votes, C. Morgan, New Norfolk. 3 votes, C. Triffett, New Norfolk. Sorrel versus Claremont. 1 vote, B. Humphreys, Claremont. 2 votes, B. Carter, Sorrel. 3 votes, J. Campbell, Sorrel. Hobart versus Southern Storm. 1 vote, H. McCulloch, Hobart. 2 votes, J. Code, Southern Storm. 3 votes, N. Clifford, Southern Storm. And Lindisfarne had the bye. Round 5. New Norfolk versus Hobart. 1 vote, J. McDonald, Hobart. 2 votes, B. Triffett, New Norfolk. 3 votes, C. Morgan, New Norfolk. Claremont versus Huonville Lions. 1 vote, Jake Harris, Claremont. 2 votes, M. McPherson, Claremont. 3 votes, K. Murta Rogers, Claremont. Lindisfarne versus Sorrel. 1 vote, J. Coleraine, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, J. Kent, Lindisfarne. And 3 votes, L. Swinton, Lindisfarne. And Southern Storm had the bye. Round 6. Hobart versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, H. Baxter, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, C. Coles, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, J. Bird, Lindisfarne. Huonville Lions versus Sorrel. 1 vote, R. Bird, Sorrel. 2 votes, B. Carter, Sorrel. 3 votes, B. Roberts, Huonville Lions. And Claremont, New Norfolk and Southern Storm had the bye. Move to round 7. Southern Storm versus Claremont. Southern Storm won by forfeit. Sorell versus Hobart. 1 vote, J Pace, Sorell. 2 votes, Z Ord, Hobart. 3 votes, B Carter, Sorell. Lindisfarne versus Ewanville Lions. 1 vote, J Foster, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, T Curry, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, L Swinton, Lindisfarne. And New Norfolk had the bye. Round 8, Southern Storm versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, T Steele, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, G O'Neill, Southern Storm. 3 votes, J Adams, Lindisfarne. Hobart versus Ewanville Lions. 1 vote, B Pike, Ewanville Lions. 2 votes, J McDonald, Hobart. 3 votes, M Cripps, Hobart. Sorell versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, K Bennett, Sorell. 2 votes, O Haig, New Norfolk. 3 votes, H Davis, New Norfolk. And Claremont had the bye. We now move to round 9. New Norfolk versus Southern Storm. 1 vote, N Clifford, Southern Storm. 2 votes, J Code, Southern Storm. 3 votes, C Morgan, New Norfolk. Ewanville Lions versus Claremont. 1 vote, Jake Harris, Claremont. 2 votes, W Quarrier, Ewanville Lions. 3 votes, B Pike, Ewanville Lions. And Lindisfarne versus Hobart game was abandoned. We now move to Tubes.
Thanks, David. There's the leaderboard for you, folks. So Morgan out in front by 2 votes, followed by Swinton, Carter and Clifford rounding out the top 4. I'll now like to ask Nathan Hartnett, the coach of the Hobart Colts, to come up to present the leading goal kicker award for the Colts. So Nathan Hartnett, if you're out there, come on up. Give him a round of applause. Nathan did a fantastic job also this year coaching the under-18 SFL side. So a round of applause for that, because I know it was a tough job for you, Nathan. Well done, mate. Do you want to announce it, or do you want me to do it? Or whatever? All right, and the leading goal kicker for the Colts in 2018 from New Norfolk was Caleb Triffett. Here he comes. Do you want to just get a photo there, boys, behind you? Thanks very much, Mark. Nathan, well done. Caleb, mate, a big year for you, leading the goal scoring down there at New Norfolk. How did you see your year?
It was pretty good. Unfortunately, we didn't get the result we wanted, but...
Yeah, you were pushing for finals, mate. You just couldn't get it across the line last week.
Yep.
How many goals did you kick?
I think it was 50, was it?
Don't know, mate, but you're the first full forward that I've ever known that doesn't know all of his stats. But well done, Caleb. A round of applause for Caleb Triffett there, folks. If he's anything like me, he loses count after about 45. So well done, Caleb. We'll also get now David back up to continue the Lipscomb medal count. Coming up, David.
Right, we'll now continue round 11. Round 10's, hang on, gone one too many. Round 10. Lindisfarne versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, C. Morgan, New Norfolk. 2 votes, J. Kent, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, R. Franklin, New Norfolk. Claremont versus Southern Storm. 1 vote, W. Polly, Southern Storm. 2 votes, J. Del Carmen, Claremont. 3 votes, N. Clifford, Southern Storm. And Hobart, Huonville and Sorell had to bye. Now we move to round 11. New Norfolk versus Claremont. 1 vote, C. Triffett, New Norfolk. 2 votes, K. Murta Rogers, Claremont. 3 votes, H. Davis, New Norfolk. Southern Storm versus Sorell. 1 vote, T. Butterworth, Sorell. 2 votes, J. Code, Southern Storm. 3 votes, G. O'Neill, Southern Storm. And Hobart, Huonville Lions and Sorell had to bye. Round 12, Sorell versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, C. Morgan, New Norfolk. 2 votes, J. Harris, Sorell. 3 votes, R. Franklin, New Norfolk. Huonville Lions versus Southern Storm. 1 vote, N. Clifford, Southern Storm. 2 votes, J. Code, Southern Storm. 3 votes, C. Soward, Southern Storm. Lindisfarne versus Hobart. Lindisfarne won by forfeit, and Claremont had the bye. Round 13. New Norfolk versus Huonville Lions. 1 vote, L. Campisi, Huonville Lions. 2 votes, C. Triffett, New Norfolk. 3 votes, C. Morgan, New Norfolk. Southern Storm versus Hobart. 1 vote, Z. Ord, Hobart. 2 votes, J. Zeitson, Southern Storm. 3 votes, J. Code, Southern Storm. Claremont versus Sorell. 1 vote, T. Butterworth, Sorell. 2 votes, B. Carter, Sorell. 3 votes, K. Murta Rogers, Claremont. And Lindisfarne had to bye. Round 14. Pardon me. 1 vote, Hobart versus New Norfolk, 1 vote, H. Davis, New Norfolk. 2 votes, T. Lynch, Hobart. 3 votes, M. Cripps, Hobart. Huonville Lions versus Claremont. 1 vote, L. Graham, Claremont. 2 votes, W. Quarrier, Huonville Lions. 3 votes, K. Murta Rogers, Claremont. Sorell versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, D. Woodham, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, A. Mackay, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, B. Carter, Sorell. And Southern Storm had to bye. Round 15. Sorell versus Huonville Lions. 1 vote, K. Bennett, Sorell. 2 votes, B. Carter, Sorell. 3 votes, J. Harris, Sorell. Lindisfarne versus Southern Storm. 1 vote, J. Drew, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, E. Reardon, Southern Storm. 3 votes, J. Code, Southern Storm. Claremont versus Hobart. 1 vote, J. Harris, Claremont. 2 votes, W. Stadler, Hobart. 3 votes, L. O'Prey, Hobart. New Norfolk had to bye. Round 16, Hobart versus Sorell. 1 vote, J. Harris, Sorell. 2 votes, H. Gallagher, Hobart. 3 votes, A. Evans, Hobart. Huonville Lions versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, J. Drew, Lindisfarne. 2 votes A. McKay, Lindisfarne. 3 votes T. Curry, Lindisfarne. And Claremont, New Norfolk and Southern Storm all had the bye. Round 17. New Norfolk versus Claremont. 1 vote C. Triffett, New Norfolk. 2 votes C. Morgan, New Norfolk. 3 votes H. Davis, New Norfolk. Lindisfarne versus Southern Storm. 1 vote J. Foster, Lindisfarne. 2 votes J. Kent, Lindisfarne. 3 votes T. Curry, Lindisfarne. Huonville Lions versus Hobart. 1 vote A. Jeeves, Huonville Lions. 2 votes J. Marshall, Hobart. 3 votes A. Evans, Hobart. And Cyril had the bye. We now move to our final round. Round 18. Claremont versus Cyril. 1 vote J. Del Carmen, Claremont. 2 votes L. Dance, Cyril. 3 votes B. Carter, Cyril. Southern Storm versus New Norfolk. 1 vote W. Polly, Southern Storm. 2 votes N. Clifford, Southern Storm. 3 votes J. Code, Southern Storm. Hobart versus Lindisfarne. Hobart won on forfeit and Huonville Lions had the bye.
Well, there we go, folks. An incredible count right down to the last round. I'd like to invite Kyron Johnson, the SFL Vice President, up to present the Lipscomb Medal. Would you like to announce it, mate, or are you happy for me to do it? Would you like to announce it? Ladies and gentlemen, the Lipscomb Medal winner from the Southern Storm, Joshua Code. Grab a photo there. Well, Josh, mate, a big year for you.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty good year, yep.
Little bit of the yeah-nahs, that's all right. Mate, I know the individual stuff probably at this point of the season doesn't mean too much to you, considering the game you've got coming up this weekend.
Yeah, nah, this game next week's pretty big. So I'm not much for words, but yeah.
No, that's all right, Josh. Mate, did you feel like you had a chance? You've had a pretty good season.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, I suppose. You never know.
It's one of the greatest interviews of all time here, folks. Josh, is there anything you want to say to your teammates out there leading into this week? I mean, you've got the grand final coming up on Saturday. Is there any words of wisdom other than yeah, nah, that you want to impart on the Southern Storm? Because they'll be watching at home, make no mistake.
All I say, like, before the game, I said never give up. That's what you got to do. Never give up.
Well done, Josh. Josh Code there, ladies and gentlemen, your 2018 Lipscomb Medal winner. He's pretty good, wasn't he? He went all right. Well done, Josh. Good on you, mate. A very tight count there, folks, and just a testament to the competition that we've got in our Colts. We're going to start off now with the reserves vote count. Oh, here we go. We're going to roll through the club vote count. So there it is, the leaderboard, the final leaderboard there. Josh winning by a couple of votes, and Carter doing very well there in the last round to come in equal second there with Mr. Morgan. So as we can see, nice and tight at the top, and plenty of players getting plenty of votes there. So great to see a nice even count. By the club now, are we going, Mick? Next one, here we go, the club leaderboards. There we are, Murtaugh Rogers, one of the best names in footy. Del Carmen, very good too. That's Claremont, of course. Cripsy, there he is, the old man, Mark Cripps. Well done, young man, leading the board up there as well with Mr. Evans. For Hobart, there we go, the Huonville Lions. Struggled a little bit, but that's okay. They'll bounce back, the kids. No, well, they're going all right. And the other grand finalists there, Lindisfarne doing very well. Of course, a nice even count across the board there. Very good job. New Norfolk, Mr. Morgan did very well in the top there for New Norfolk. Of course, there's a Triffid in there too. Good. Sorrel, very heavily dominated by Carter. Good job. Really struggling up here, aren't I, folks? And there we go, the Storm. Of course, the grand finalists, they'll do very well. It's going to be a massive game on Saturday. Of course, they kick off at 5 p.m. on Saturday. And there we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for all of our vote getters in the Lipscomb Medal. We will now move on to the reserves vote count, and I'll ask David to come on back. Mr. Banks.
Right, we now move to the George Watt Medal for reserves. Round 1, New Norfolk versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, T. Bly, New Norfolk. 2 votes, J. Bromfield, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, N. Breslin, Lindisfarne. Cygnet versus Claremont. 1 vote, K. Smith, Claremont. 2 votes, L. Roswell, Claremont. 3 votes, S. Hobden, Claremont. Brighton versus Sorrel. 1 vote, J. Bateman, Sorrel. 2 votes, S. Tubb, Brighton. 3 votes, D. Navikas, Sorrel. Dodgers Ferry versus Hobart. 1 vote, Adam Henderson, Hobart. 2 votes, J. McGee, Hobart. 3 votes, J. Scott, Dodgers Ferry. And Huonville Lions had to bye. Round 2, Claremont versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, R. Alfort, Claremont. 2 votes, P. Ashland, Claremont. 3 votes, K. Smith, Claremont. Sorrel versus Cygnet. 1 vote, G. Clark, Cygnet. 2 votes, C. Workman, Sorrel. 3 votes, T. Pears, Sorrel. Huonville Lions versus Brighton. 1 vote, J. O'Connor, Huonville Lions. 2 votes, Jamie Stanway, Huonville Lions. 3 votes, T. Cordwell, Huonville Lions. Lindisfarne versus Dodgers Ferry. 1 vote, N. Cranfield, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, J. Press, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, J. Breslin, Lindisfarne. And Hobart had the bye. Round 3, New Norfolk versus Sorrel. 1 vote, B. Morley, Sorrel. 2 votes, L. Browning, New Norfolk. 3 votes, J. Wilton, New Norfolk. Cygnet versus Huonville Lions. 1 vote, Paddy O'Neill, Cygnet. 2 votes, H. Crack, Huonville Lions. 3 votes, T. Campisi, Huonville Lions. Brighton versus Hobart. 1 vote, J. McGee, Hobart. 2 votes, C. Dickens, Hobart. 3 votes, I. Hovington, Hobart. Claremont versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, L. Rosewell, Claremont. 2 votes, J. Bromfield, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, S. Clark, Lindisfarne. And Dodgers Ferry had the bye. Round 4. Huonville Lions versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, D. Mulder, Huonville Lions. 2 votes, L. Browning, New Norfolk. 3 votes, T. Cordwell, Huonville Lions. Sorrel versus Claremont. 1 vote, M. Bird, Claremont. 2 votes, K. Smith, Claremont. 3 votes, L. Rosewell, Claremont. Dodgers Ferry versus Brighton. 1 vote, H. Barwin, Dodgers Ferry. 2 votes, S. Monson, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes, J. Monks, Dodgers Ferry. Hobart versus Cygnet. 1 vote, Paddy O'Neill, Cygnet. 2 votes, J. McGee, Hobart. 3 votes, Brandon Lockley, Hobart. And Lindisfarne had the bye. Round 5, New Norfolk versus Hobart. 1 vote, T. Bly, New Norfolk. 2 votes, T. Dennis, Hobart. 3 votes, J. McGee, Hobart. Cygnet versus Dodgers Ferry. 1 vote, K. Russell, Cygnet. 2 votes, J. Wiggins, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes, J. Bowling, Dodgers Ferry. Claremont versus Huonville Lions. 1 vote, K. Smith, Claremont. 2 votes, M. Bird, Claremont. 3 votes, L. Rosewell, Claremont. Lindisfarne versus Sorrel. 1 vote, K. Barwick, Sorrel. 2 votes, J. Press, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, T. Bracken, Lindisfarne. And Brighton had to bye. Round 6, Dodgers Ferry versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, T. Bly, New Norfolk. 2 votes, N. Malone, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes, S. McLean, Dodgers Ferry. Brighton versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, S. Clark, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, M. Blacklow, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, J. Lovell, Lindisfarne. Hobart versus Claremont. 1 vote, J. Del Carmen, Claremont. 2 votes, T. Williams Wheeler, Claremont. 3 votes, K. Smith, Claremont. Huonville Lions versus Sorrel. 1 vote, K. Barwick, Sorrel. 2 votes, T. Campese, Huonville Lions. 3 votes, D. Mulder, Huonville Lions. And Cygnet had the bye. Round 7, Cygnet versus Brighton. 1 vote, Peter O'Neill, Cygnet. 2 votes, K. Russell, Cygnet. 3 votes, E. Ross, Cygnet. Claremont versus Dodgers Ferry. 1 vote, H. Barwin, Dodgers Ferry. 2 votes, J. Monks, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes, P. Ashland, Claremont. Sorrel versus Hobart. 1 vote, D. Huxley, Hobart. 2 votes J McGee, Hobart. 3 votes W Collins, Hobart. Lindisfarne versus Huonville Lions. 1 vote B Aitken, Lindisfarne. 2 votes N Cranfield, Lindisfarne. 3 votes S Clark, Lindisfarne, and New Norfolk had the bye. We now move to round 8. Brighton versus New Norfolk. 1 vote M Koppelman, Brighton. 2 votes K Walker, New Norfolk. 3 votes J Foster, New Norfolk. Lindisfarne versus Cygnet. 1 vote Brad Sculthorpe, Cygnet. 2 votes T Clark, Lindisfarne. 3 votes S Clark, Lindisfarne. Dodgers Ferry versus Sorell. 1 vote A Hall, Dodgers Ferry. 2 votes L Edwards, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes H Barwin, Dodgers Ferry. Hobart versus Huonville Lions. 1 vote P Wilcox, Huonville. 2 votes B Triffett, Huonville Lions. 3 votes J McGee, Hobart, and Claremont had the bye. Round 9. New Norfolk versus Cygnet. 1 vote M Bierman, New Norfolk. 2 votes C Ransley, New Norfolk. 3 votes M Jones, New Norfolk. Brighton versus Claremont. 1 vote T Cockshot, Claremont. 2 votes P Ashland, Claremont. 3 votes K Smith, Claremont. Huonville Lions versus Dodgers Ferry. 1 vote B Triffett, Huonville Lions. 2 votes P Kelly, Huonville Lions. 3 votes B Page, Huonville Lions. Lindisfarne versus Hobart. 1 vote Angus Henderson, Hobart. 2 B Dean, Lindisfarne. 3 votes S Clark, Lindisfarne, and Sorell had the bye. I'll now hand back to Tubes for another award.
All right, so there's the leaderboard, folks. Pretty tight at the top there with Clarkey. Loved his game in round 4. Jimmy McGee as well. Ken Smith. I assume his name's Ken. It's not many names that start. Kyle, that'll do. Well done, Kyle. But it's pretty tight at the top there. Don't worry, Rosewall will poll well in the later half of the season as well. I'd like to ask Tony Gibson to come up to present the leading goal kicker award for the reserves. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Gibson. Gibbo. What a man, eh? What a man. The leading goal kicker for the reserves in 2018 from Lindisfarne was Ben Van Cranen. He purposely sat at the back of the room so it would take him a lot longer to come to the front of the room. Ben Van Cranen, bit of me time. Well done, Benny. Photographs? Don't get anywhere, Ben. I've got to ask you a few questions, mate. I know how much you love a bit of on-camera time. See, look, mate, we're on the big screen there. He loves it. Ben Van Cranen, the coach of the Lindisfarne Reserves, mate. Is it true that at training you said if you don't kick it to me, you will not play?
No.
Okay. How many goals did you kick?
I think it was 51.
He doesn't think, folks. He knows for certain. He knows exactly how many goals he kicked. Mate, straight into the grand final from the second semi, mate. How does that feel for your footy club?
Oh, it's pretty exciting. The whole, all 4 teams in the grand final. So, pretty excited. Should be a big day for all of us.
Big day for your club, that's for sure. How have you rated your season personally?
Personally, probably okay, I guess. I've been lucky enough to get onto good midfield kicking to me, I suppose, and it's been pretty enjoyable, fun year. I've been working on my coaching, and it's been awesome fun. Yeah.
And who's your tip for the George Watt Medal?
I'm hoping the old chiseler himself, Shawnee Clark. So he plays with me. So his kicking's the little chiselers. Hopefully he loves that. So.
All right, and you love the bit of me time, Ben Van Cranen. There we go, folks. Ben Van Cranen from the Lindisfarne Footy Club. Well done, mate. We'll now continue on with the remainder of the George Watt medal count with David Banks.
Right, we now move to round 10. Lindisfarne versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, J. McPherson, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, N. Breslin, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, S. Clark, Lindisfarne. Claremont versus Cygnet. 1 vote, B. Pace, Claremont. 2 votes, R. Martin, Claremont. 3 votes, J. Percy, Claremont. Sorrel versus Brighton. 1 vote, J. Hanson, Sorrel. 2 votes, T. Taylor, Brighton. 3 votes, C. Blackaby, Brighton. Hobart versus Dodgers Ferry. 1 vote, D. Huxley, Hobart. 2 votes, T. Howes, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes, B. Barlow, Dodgers Ferry. And Huonville Lions had to bye. Round 11. New Norfolk versus Claremont. 1 vote, T. Cockshut, Claremont. 2 votes, B. Tomlin, New Norfolk. 3 votes, K. Smith, Claremont. Cygnet versus Sorrel. 1 vote, S. Clark, Cygnet. 2 votes, J. Brett, Cygnet. 3 votes, M. Bradley, Cygnet. Brighton versus Huonville Lions. 1 vote, M. Bennett, Huonville Lions. 2 votes, H. Crack, Huonville Lions. 3 votes, M. Koppelman, Brighton. Dodgers Ferry versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, J. McPherson, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, S. Monson, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes, J. Monks, Dodgers Ferry. And Hobart had the bye. We now move to round 12. Sorrel versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, C. Ransley, New Norfolk. 2 votes, T. Pears, Sorrel. 3 votes, T. Heron, New Norfolk. Huonville Lions versus Cygnet. 1 vote, B. Triffett, Huonville Lions. 2 votes, M. Bennett, Huonville Lions. 3 votes, B. Alley, Huonville Lions. Hobart versus Brighton. 1 vote, Angus Henderson, Hobart. 2 votes, J. Dykes, Hobart. 3 votes, M. Koppelman, Brighton. Lindisfarne versus Claremont. 1 vote, C. Canduff, Claremont. 2 votes, S. Clark, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, A. Clark, Lindisfarne. And Dodgers Ferry had to bye. Round 13. New Norfolk versus Huonville Lions. 1 vote, C. Ransley, New Norfolk. 2 votes D. Mulder, Huonville Lions. 3 votes T. Cordwell, Huonville Lions. Cygnet versus Hobart. 1 vote K. Nielsen, Cygnet. 2 votes Angus Henderson, Hobart. 3 votes W. Collins, Hobart. Brighton versus Dodgers Ferry. 1 vote S. Atkinson, Brighton. 2 votes M. Koppelman, Brighton. 3 votes J. Smith, Dodgers Ferry. Claremont versus Sorrel. 1 vote M. Searley, Claremont. 2 votes L. Rosewell, Claremont. 3 votes K. Smith, Claremont. And Lindisfarne had the bye. Round 14. Hobart versus New Norfolk. 1 vote J. Caulfield, Hobart. 2 votes C. Elwell, Hobart. 3 votes W. Collins, Hobart. Dodgers Ferry versus Cygnet. 1 vote H. Barwin, Dodgers Ferry. 2 votes J. Monks, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes L. Edwards, Dodgers Ferry. Huonville Lions versus Claremont. 1 vote M. Searley, Claremont. 2 votes T. Cordwell, Huonville Lions. 3 votes D. Mulder, Huonville Lions. Sorrel versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote R. Bosworth, Lindisfarne. 2 votes N. Braslin, Lindisfarne. 3 votes S. Clark, Lindisfarne. And Brighton had the bye. Now move to round 15. New Norfolk versus Dodgers Ferry. 1 vote L. Edwards, Dodgers Ferry. 2 votes H. Barwin, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes J. Monks, Dodgers Ferry. Lindisfarne versus Brighton. 1 vote N. Cranfield, Lindisfarne. 2 votes S. Clark, Lindisfarne. 3 votes K. Stiles, Lindisfarne. Claremont versus Hobart. 1 vote C. Elwell, Hobart. 2 votes C. Cunliffe, Claremont. 3 votes B. Pace, Claremont. Sorrel versus Huonville Lions. 1 vote Jacob Stanway, Huonville Lions. 2 votes B. Page, Huonville Lions. 3 votes P. Kelly, Huonville Lions. And Cygnet had the bye. Round 16. Brighton versus Cygnet. 1 vote M. Koppelman, Brighton. 2 votes Paddy O'Neill, Cygnet. 3 votes Marcus Coulson, Cygnet. Dodgers Ferry versus Claremont. 1 vote M. Searley, Claremont. 2 votes J. Godden, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes S. Monson, Dodgers Ferry. Hobart versus Sorrel. 1 vote J. Baker, Hobart. 2 votes J. Berry, Sorrel. 3 votes J. Caulfield, Hobart. Huonville Lions versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote N. Cranfield, Lindisfarne. 2 votes B. Van Cranen, Lindisfarne. 3 votes S. Clark, Lindisfarne. And New Norfolk had the bye. We now move to round 17. New Norfolk versus Brighton. 1 vote C. Ransley, New Norfolk. 2 votes J. Foster, New Norfolk. 3 votes L. Browning, New Norfolk. Lindisfarne versus Cygnet. 1 vote R. Bosworth, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, S. Clark, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, N. Cranfield, Lindisfarne. Sorrel versus Dodgers Ferry. 1 vote, J. Berry, Sorrel. 2 votes, H. Barwin, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes, J. Monks, Dodgers Ferry. Huonville versus Hobart. 1 vote, T. Cordwell, Huonville Lions. 2 votes, M. Bennett, Huonville Lions. 3 votes, D. Mulder, Huonville Lions. And Claremont had the bye. We now move to the final round in the George Watt Medal. Cygnet versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, T. Triffett, New Norfolk. 2 votes, T. Sleven, Cygnet. 3 votes, S. Clark, Cygnet. Claremont versus Brighton. 1 vote, J. Beaumont, Claremont. 2 votes, B. Pace, Claremont. 3 votes, K. Smith, Claremont. Dodgers Ferry versus Huonville Lions. 1 vote, J. Smith, Dodgers Ferry. 2 votes, J. Monks, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes, G. Morgan, Dodgers Ferry. In the final game, Hobart versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, J. Harvey, Hobart. 2 votes, K. Ganinen, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, N. Breslin, Lindisfarne. And Sorrel had the bye. And we'll now hand back to Tubes for the awards.
Alrighty, so there we go, folks. The leaderboard is up there, and I'd like to invite SFL President Madeline Ogilvie up to hand over the George Watt Medal. The 2018 George Watt medalist, Sean Clark.
It was a long walk through the banks. Congratulations. Well done, well done.
Just a photo behind you there, guys. Photo behind you there. Sean, mate, you've had a ripper year.
Yep.
Did you, I mean, BVK down the back there tipped you for it early, halfway through the season, mate. You've had a pretty ripper year. Tell us about your season.
Oh, it's been all right. Probably 22 blokes we play with every week, so really helped me. And so, yeah, it's been consistent and the rest of it.
How's the body feeling leading into the grand final?
Yeah, good. Knee's bad, but, yeah, the rest of it's all right.
There's a tip for the guys. Just take them both out, I suppose. Mate, the individual stuff, does it matter to you?
No, not really. It's about winning the... it's all about the end of it, I guess. Win another Dengley and the rest of it, so...
Claremont are a pretty formidable foe. How do you see them coming into the grand final?
They'll be strong, always strong. They've got, I think, last 5 years they've always been in the final, so they've got a lot of, I don't know, what do you call it? A lot of thanks Nick, thank you. A lot of experience and yeah, they're very smart players, so you can't, grand final you could probably win 6 games a year and you could probably win the grand final, so you got to rock up on the day and do what you do.
Mate, is there anyone you'd like to thank for your big win?
Oh, just all the boys I play with and the club and everyone else, so yeah, so.
Good on you, mate. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Clark, the George Watt medalist for 2018. Alrighty, a couple of quick announcements. I'd like to just quickly acknowledge the president of the Umpires Association, Jeff Flack, who arrived a little bit earlier. So thank you very much for coming in there, Jeff. Without those wonderful folks at the umpires, we don't have a game. So thanks very much to you for turning up there, Jeff. Really quickly, on your table, there is a raffle $5 a ticket. It's for a SFL corporate box for 6 people. Apparently the guys from Sorrel won it last year. They remember winning it, but they don't remember going. So it's a good sign of a good prize, I suppose. Dinner will be served shortly. As I said, we'll just call you out for the table. So just bear with us a few moments. We'll come and call you to the table. So just sit back, relax, and we'll be right back in just a few moments with the SFLW Women's Medal. In a few moments, we'll go through the leaderboard there on the screen as we call you for dinner. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our very first edition of The Map here in the Duff TV studios. My name is Tubes Taylor, and as I say, welcome. We are going to be covering 2 great leagues in southern Tasmania, the SFL and the Old Scholars Football Association, thanks to the Tasmanian Football Council. I'm joined today here by my co-host, Aaron Roberts. Welcome, Aaron.
Thanks very much. Great to be here. The very first map here in the headquarters of the Duff Studios in North Hobart. It's exciting. And a commanding lead for Claremont shown on the new scoreboard, which are going to be proliferated across all grounds in Tasmania.
Everyone seems to be getting it, Aaron.
Absolutely. Marcus Parker showing some of his skills, but I managed to snuggle onto that one. A little bit of conversation here, I believe. We can't lip read, but well, look, there's a 50-metre penalty. No, oh, there's a bit of a comment. Someone said something. Oh, dearie me. I think it was Benny Lovell. He's about to be shown muscular lettuce.
Yep.
And
he says you can go and make a bit of...
There it is.
Yep, they're all going to have a bit of salad. Off you go, have 15 minutes.
Oh, the run of shame for Benny Lovell there. Although there was a few goals late here, and there's Murray again showing some skills, didn't he? Oh, and Wardlaw just copped one. He's copped one from the 18-year-old Percy.
We had a couple of younger players that really stood up for us. some new guys as well. I thought Ollie Farrad, come across from Kingston, was really good. Jane Charlton in the middle as well, really gave us a lot of drive and a bit of grunt in there going forward against a pretty big, well-statured sort of Brighton midfielder, strong bodies in there. So yeah, from our perspective, it's good to get the win and yeah, really tough, well thought out game.
Just touching on Brighton there, you did mention their midfield. They surprised me in the footage that we've seen, and we're playing over the top here right now. They surprised me with some of their bullocking midfielders.
Yeah, they had a couple of really just big bulls in there. So Kyle Clark had a brilliant game, I thought. And I think Daniel Scott was the other one in there who played really well and really gave our midfielders a run for their money and gave the Brighton forwards first use of the ball a lot of the time.
So you've got to start building on that. As far as the club goes, if you have a profile, then you start to attract better players, better sponsors, more supporters and that sort of thing. So some of the things we're doing is developing parts of the ground like new change rooms, gymnasiums, a 200-person conference facility so that you can watch the football as well as view over the city, so that'll be going to private functions as well. So putting that all together, it builds a profile, and we've been working on that for some time. And hence this year we've probably recruited better than any other year, so we're starting to build our strength by strength, and it's a work in progress.
Does really well here to get his handball back, and it's picked up by that man there who just chips it into the middle of the ground, but coming through hard is Pate, who throws it onto the boot with a massive torpedo punt, and it dribbles through the middle for a big 6-pointer. He is the Firthy player of the day right there, Aaron. Mate, a great win on the weekend by a point up there at the TCA.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic in the end. It was a tight battle in the first quarter. We probably dominated the second quarter, but didn't quite get it on the scoreboard. And then they obviously fought back in the third quarter and got in front. And then lucky enough that big Ben Holton stood up, kicked 3 goals in 5 minutes, got us back in front, and then we're lucky to hang on from there. So.
Speaking of that tight first quarter, we managed to catch up with Mark Beck and his quarter-time address at the TCA.
They are making it a scrap, to their credit. They are making it a scrap, but then on the outside they're beating us, okay, because they're a little bit quicker to react. Remember, we talk about our starting points, and I reckon they've been really good, but then we're a bit slow to react to them on the outside, and a couple of them have got us, like Cato, like Cohen. On the spread, they've got us a little bit.
The Cygnet boys are looking really quick when they get a bit of movement out there.
Yeah, I think Ben Cato's doing a really good job with them. He's given lots of instructions. There's lots of kids out there that's come out of last year's Colts side. Yep. So, and that's the way the club's looking to build for the future, to develop the youth and to keep them coming through the Southern Storm and keep the club viable and competitive in the SFL.
In the Southern Footy League, Claremont on top by a game. Newmanville, who had a big improvement this season, are a game behind. And we've got a bunch of teams, Hobart, Lindisfarne and Cygnet. Big win for you guys by 111 points out there at Anzac Park, mate. How did you see the game?
Yeah, pretty happy. The first half was really encouraging. We haven't been playing overly well, but the defensive part of our game was really strong early. We laid close to 50 tackles in the first half, and that allowed us to get our offence going off the back of that, so I was pretty happy. So we needed to make sure we started well and put them under pressure, and we were able to do that. And because we're pretty good on offence, when we can get enough ball in our hands, we were able to score off the back of that. Unfortunately, we weren't overly accurate, but we were able to keep the ball in our front half. Thanks for joining us on the map there, BVK. Mate, a good start for your boys?
Yeah, pretty good start. We're trying to play pretty quick football as we normally do, so yeah, good start.
And what's the message there at quarter time?
Just keep hanging, keep kicking along to the forwards, Cass, and give us a chance to get a few snags.
Cassidy's obviously a target down there, mate.
Oh, he always is, mate. You know, these big units, we've got to kick it to him.
But their defenders are doing okay.
Yeah, they're playing really good football. Obviously, they're spreading the ball like we like to do. So, we have to just defend them first and then attack and kick some goals.
Good luck in the next one, mate.
Oh, I think he's doing a fantastic job. Jock's an experienced coach, a very good coach. He's obviously a premiership coach, so he knows what he's doing. I think the biggest thing with him is he's honest. He knows where they're at, and I noticed a significant difference on Saturday, even though the result probably doesn't say that. You know, if you look at the second half, we've won it by 4 goals, and you can see some significant difference in the way they were playing. They look much more confident, and I think he's done a really good job with them. They're definitely on the right track.
They're just as young, if not younger, than us today. So that's a really good challenge for the boys on our home deck.
Yep.
And we're looking forward to hopefully banking the 4 points.
And there's a few lads today got some milestones. Tell us about the players that got some milestones today.
Yeah, the captain, Mark Cusick, he's playing his 200th. He's only 26, I think, so he's been here since he was a young fella, and the boys that just love him. He's just a real heart and soul of the club. And Brad Jackson, he's played 150th, but he's probably missed 150 as well through injury. So it's exciting for him to get to 150.
Just looking around the ground, it's a bit patchy.
Yeah.
It's a bit, gives an idea that the players in the ground here is that what's the issue with the surface?
So we just haven't had any rain down here.
Well, it's green.
Yeah, no, it's green, but yeah, it's really sandy and just haven't had the rain, and so it's but the boys find a way to battle through with it. So they'll be a bit sore. The Norfolk boys, they're used to playing on the pristine Boyer oval.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it's going to be a little bit sore, but the ground is getting a bit better, but yeah, it's not ideal.
All right, best of luck, David, today.
Cheers.
Hope you boys go well.
Thank you.
All right, that's the map here at Shark Park.
It's not real flash at the minute. The council's taken over it, and it's just it's sort of getting worse and worse. They've run out of bore water at the moment, and they reckon it costs $1,000 a week to keep it going, but there seems to be a lot of money going to Pembroke Park and
All up there at the Eagles.
not much going to Dodgers Ferry. But
Well, we just got to maybe siphon some water from someone's tank or something, do we, to get that ground a bit wet, because it certainly was challenging at different stages. Who would win, Old Scholars or the SFL? If the Old Scholars play the SFL in a representative football match, who do you think would win?
I might have my money on the Old Scholars.
Yeah, okay.
I reckon we're a bit deeper in this competition.
Canteen watch here at Shark Park. Firstly, Old Scholars, if they played the SFL in a representative game next season, who do you think would win?
St Virgil's.
We've got some of the youth from the Dodgers Ferry. We've got Archie here. Archie, if the Old Scholars played the SFL next season in a representative game, who would win?
Old Scholars.
What's your answer?
SFL.
The Old Scholars.
The Old Scholars. Old Scholars.
There you go. Old Scholars are going to get it by the look of it. So very interesting discussion here with some of the youngsters, maybe the football future here at Dodgers Ferry. Well, we met some interesting characters down there at Shark Park. A whole fortitude of people, and they love their footy. I really enjoyed my day there. Mark, give us an idea. Were you related to a lot of those people, or you know them?
Two, oh yeah, everyone sort of knows everyone down there. Everyone chips in. It's a pretty good community. It's a pretty tight community. That way. You sort of have to run a club, but no, it's a good field, and it's pretty laid back, but it's good.
Tubes Taylor here for the map, and I'm joined by Jodie Mather, who's the SFLW coach for the rep side for 2018. Congratulations, Jodie.
Thanks, Tubes.
How does it feel to be the coach?
Oh, it's very exciting in the inaugural year to get the coaching gig, so I'm really looking forward to the game on Sunday.
And every club from SFLW is represented this year?
Yeah, we're really fortunate. We had some really good nominees, and we trained for 4 weeks and then selected a side, and it was great that we could pick someone from each of the clubs.
No, wonderful stuff. Now, what are you expecting from the NTFA up there?
Oh, they breed them tough and strong up north, so we're going to go in with a running game and hopefully run them off their feet and expose their hopeful lack of fitness.
Well, a big oval up there at UTAS Stadium.
Yep.
Have you spoken to the girls about that?
I'm going to leave that fact until Sunday, and they can appreciate the enormity when they get there.
Wonderful. And out here with Michael Paul, mate. We've got the boys behind you Snapchatting, mate, but a tremendous effort for your side to get into the grand final.
Yeah, it is. It's a tremendous effort for any team to get in the grand final, and we're pretty excited.
You looked really fast on Saturday, mate. Is that something you've been working on, your pace around the ground?
I don't know if we can make blokes quicker or not, but we've certainly picked a team that can sort of run games out and definitely use a bit of speed and flair.
Lindisfarne have been the team to beat all year, mate. How do you think you can beat them on Saturday?
Oh, look, they've been the best team all year, and it shows with the results, but we've got some things in place that we think will work well. Whether or not it's going to work on the day, no one knows. That's the beauty of grand finals, I guess. Whoever shows up wins.
Mate, you've had a couple of weeks off. I know you went to Europe and had the time of your life over there. How are you feeling?
Up until last week, probably pretty poor. Starting to come right now.
Detox.
Yeah, been detoxing. Not tonight.
Mickey Paul, go and get yourself some dinner, mate. Thanks for joining us here on the map.
Cheers.
Good on you, mate. Mickey Paul there with you, folks. I'm sure he'll poll well in the early rounds, but he broke his thumb, dislocated a finger and whatever, so he's probably not going to win it. That works well. Hey, we got Fergus Morrison here. Ferg, a pretty tough year for the Robins.
Yeah, very tough.
It was a long season, but we got through it. That's the main thing, and hopefully things will be a lot better next year.
Mate, I think you surprised a few sides this year, Cobbo. You've got some talent in the ranks.
Yeah, Jacob Pate's a good young player. Damien Rose, a couple others. Yeah.
Yourself?
Oh, up and down. I had a couple of bad injuries, so. Yeah.
Mate, are you ready for next season? I've heard some whispers that you're after some big recruits.
Yeah, we're after a few blokes, but more about developing the young blokes as well. But yeah, a couple of additions would be very handy, yep.
No, well, go and get yourself some dinner, mate. Thanks very much for joining us here on The Map.
No worries, thank you.
Fergus Morrison, ladies and gentlemen. Cripps joining us from the Hobart Footy Club, mate. You played quite a few games as seniors.
Yeah, I think I ended up playing 10, so more than expected.
Mate, you had a pretty good season and you polled okay in the Lindisfarne Medal earlier count as well.
Oh, yeah.
Mate, how are you rating being at the Hobart Tigers?
Oh, you just love it. Off-field, the best people you'd ever meet. You know, like the 60 blokes you play with in the club are just... They're all your mates. You can talk to them, and yeah, it's a great feeling being at the Hobart Footy Club. So,
mate, excellent stuff. I reckon in the next few years, the Hobart Footy Club will be one to watch. You've got the new facilities coming in as well.
Look out, I reckon.
Good on you, Mark Cripps. Thanks very much for joining us on The Map. Go and get yourself some dinner there, mate. A young man, very nervous, but doing a good job nonetheless. He doesn't want to be a part of it. I know you love your screen time and you do some of your best work at the buffet, mate. A pretty rough season, a rough end to your season, I would have thought.
Yeah, it was a pretty rough end, just the way it finished up for us. It was in our hands and we sort of let it slip in the end, which is a little bit hard to take and a little bit hard watching those ladders pop up on the screen, but gives a bit of motivation for next year, come back stronger.
So any big recruits in the mix for 2019?
Not that I'm aware of at the moment. I'm not part of that department, so I'll let the higher-ups take care of that one, Tubes.
Now, quick shout-out. I know you're tied down now with a lovely young lady. Do you want to give her a shout-out? I'm sure she's at home watching.
Thanks, mate. Yes, hello, Anna. How you going? Beautiful. You're doing a great job.
Oh, well done. Go and get yourself some dinner there, Ads. Thanks for joining us on The Map. President at the Hobart Footy Club. Thanks for joining us, mate.
At the moment.
Well, I know you're stepping down next year,
Good
unfortunately.
Night.
It's
well.
going all right?
Yeah, going well. I thought you was a bit slack early.
Come on, Russ, don't be so harsh. How have you seen your footy club season this year?
Mate, we're very disappointed we didn't make the finals. We thought we had the team this year to make the finals, so we're disappointed. But we've got a good springboard, I think, to go forward next year.
Mate, there's some big facility information coming up for the Hobart Footy Club in the next couple of years?
It is. We're working on it at the moment. We're working with the government and the council, and hopefully within 2 years, there'll be new facilities including kiosks, 150-seat function area, and new change rooms, which will be great.
That will be great, Russell. I better let you get to the buffet, mate. Thanks very much for joining us here on The Map. Get you for a sec. I love how blokes don't want to talk to me, matey, but you're one of the first blokes that pops his hands up.
Always happy to talk to you, Tubes, mate. No worries at all.
Mate, a disappointing end to your season.
Yep. It's truly disappointing. I mean, credit to Huonville. They played really well, and unfortunately, we couldn't really stick to them after half time. So, they're really disappointing.
Who's your tip for the William Leitch tonight, mate?
Look, honestly, don't know. It could go anywhere, really.
I reckon you're a sneaky chance, mate.
I'm not too sure, mate. Look, if it happens, it happens. But, look, could happen anywhere. I reckon, maybe Horny or someone from New Norfolk could poll pretty well. I think he will, but, honestly, not too sure.
And who's your tip for Saturday?
Oh, look, if the big fella Mickey Paul gets up and about like he did on the weekend and he plays well, I think Huonville play really well when he's up and about. So, but look, Lindisfarne a strong favourite, so probably Lindisfarne at this stage,
Marty, go and get some dinner, mate. Thanks for joining us here on the map. Claremont Footy Club. Real chance tonight with the William Leitch Medal. He's my hot tip. Hey, Georgie Bailey here from the Claremont Footy Club. Come on, Georgie, just have a chat to us. We're one of your favourite fans out there. You're a great ruckman. Tell us about your footy, your season this year.
So I've just played ruck for Claremont, first year of footy.
First year of footy?
First year of footy, yeah.
What's your sporting history?
So I'm a boxer.
Right, well, I will step away from you I'm sorry that I pushed you to chat to us. I'm actually a little bit terrified now, Georgie. But your season was a little bit of a letdown for the club, I suppose, not being able to make the finals, but a great to come from nowhere last year.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you going to play again next year?
I am.
Have good fun?
Yep.
Excellent. All right, thanks very much, Georgie Bailey. I'm sorry I forced you to do it.
It's okay.
Good on you, Georgie Bailey there from the Claremont Footy Club. She's a jet. People are running away from me here. They don't want to chat to me. Girls, hey, how are you? Really good to have you with us here on the map. How did you rate your season?
A little above average, I suppose.
Yeah, well, you came up from last on the ladder last year to play finals. You must be happy with that.
Yeah, really happy. I didn't play last season, but yeah, going from wooden spoons to fourth was pretty good.
So this is your first season of footy?
Yep, was my first season.
What's your sporting history?
I played state soccer, played football, AFL rules. Got kicked out at age 13. Got told to pick another sport, picked soccer, played state soccer, and then once SFL came along, picked AFL.
Yeah, brilliant, excellent stuff. So this off season, you're going to just go out and train harder?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think Claremont's got heaps of room to improve, and I think we're one to watch in next season.
Absolutely. You go and enjoy your dinner.
Thank you, Tubes.
Thanks so much for joining us. Nicole Matthews from the Southeast Suns unfortunately couldn't get the chocolates on the weekend, but you had a few injuries and a few things going wrong at the footy club.
Yeah, we've definitely been riddled with injury in the end of the season, so it's definitely played a big part in where we've ended up. Disappointing, but it is what it is, and obviously wasn't meant to be, so...
Yeah, I mean, you had a few players out as well, some really seasoned campaigners out of your footy side.
Yeah, we were missing a couple of key, particularly in our midfield and on our wing, so that did really hurt us on the weekend. Sorry.
No, that's okay. There's screaming abuse on the sidelines. Very easy to scream abuse from the sidelines, but look, your season is over, obviously. The girls had a great time on Saturday night, but what do you take away from this season?
Oh, look, we have a really good club down at the Suns, and it's so much fun. Like, just to be there, we're blessed to actually be a part of a really inclusive club. So, like, we have 3 ladies in our team that are in our playing squad that are over 50. And I'd say we're the only women's club that have got that, and to be part of something that not only has a good women's club, but we've got juniors coming through with our under-17s and our under-11s. It's just great to be a part of it.
Your tip for the SFLW Women's Medal?
I reckon Claire McManus, yeah.
Okay, Claire McManus, she's your hot tip. And for the grand final, Lindisfarne or North Hobart?
I think Lindisfarne have got it covered, so I reckon they'll get the job done.
Well, there you go. You heard it here first from Nicole Matthews. Nicole, go and grab yourself some dinner. Thanks so much for joining us here on The Map. President of the SFL, you must be really proud about what's happening.
I'm so excited for the girls, and to have our first rep team ever in women's football is a huge achievement. And it's a real credit to the clubs, to the girls, to the coaches, to the presidents, to everybody who's just got behind this, and also to the league.
And it's wonderful to see so many clubs represented here today.
It's a real mixture, and you can just see that women's football is...
All right, Jodie Mather from the Lindisfarne Lady Blues. Big game this week.
Huge game, Tubes. Very exciting week for us.
How are the girls feeling?
It's grand final week, so there's a lot to be excited about. And most of us have the benefit of having some grand final experience, which helps. But we've got a few newbies to have a run, so that's exciting for them too.
Any big team news that you want to leak this early in the week?
No, I think the biggest decision for us this week is what's going to be on our banner.
Well, there you go, Jodie. Your tip for the SFLW Women's Medal?
I'd love to see Kayla Welsh from the Lady Blues take it out. She's had a fantastic year. I think Claire McManus will be up there. There's probably a couple of girls from the Suns who'll be in the running, but yeah, I think it will be a fierce contest.
It certainly will be. I'm really looking forward to this game. How do you take on the pace of the North Hobart Footy Club?
Look, I like to think that we're a run and carry team too, so hopefully we'll match up pretty well against them, and it should be a good, clean, high-skilled game, so looking forward to it.
All right, thanks so much for joining us here on The Map, Jodie. You go and join the rest of the girls. I notice with interest that there's not many people drinking on that table. Is that a rule that you've brought in?
No, not a rule. Not a rule at all. I think the girls have just sensibly stuck to the water.
Proper preparation, that's good stuff. Thanks so much for joining us here on The Map, Jodie.
No worries, thanks, Tubes.
All the best for Saturday. I should have said that. I did say that. Good.
At the same time.
All the best for Sunday and take care.
Good luck.
Now joined by Kate Tedders, the captain of Lauderdale out there. You must be pretty proud of the girls. 4 representatives from your side.
Yeah, we were really stoked as a first year team to have 4 girls chosen. Yeah, very happy.
So tell me about the girls that have been picked.
Well, we've got Bear, Claire McManus, actually sister of our coach, so footy runs in her blood, I guess. It's her first year playing, and yeah, she's gunned it. She's doing so well. Macy's played a bit of junior football, so we've got Macy Anderton. She's a really great backman, puts a lot of pressure, does some big tackles and has got a very big kick. And then we've got Caitlin Phillips, and she's played for a few clubs before, and she came over to Lauderdale this year, and yeah.
And of course yourself as well.
Yeah, and me.
Unbelievable stuff. Now, how do you feel about going up there to Launceston to play on York Park? Well, UTAS Stadium, we should call it. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, a bit nervous. I've heard it's a very big ground to play on, so yeah.
All the best. Enjoy the trip,
Thank
and
you.
We'll see you there on Sunday.
Sounds good. Thank you. Cheers.
Is that the structure? That's sort of you get the ball off half back is the game plan?
I reckon Brad Curran would say yes, and it's his mastermind because they're his 6.
Yep.
But we've got a couple of backs out at the moment. We've probably had 10 go through there steadily. But yeah, they've been unreal this year. They're not scared to take the game on. They attack from half back, which is really, as we know, that's where it's set up from nowadays. So they set up really well, and they basically control the game. Especially the half back line, they've been unreal. So.
Going back to Lindisfarne, though, they were without Michael Cassidy. Do you think that hurts their structure?
For sure. I mean, you take centre half forward out of any team, that's basically, as footy has changed, and it's probably not as important as it was, but if it's Michael Cassidy, it's quite important.
It certainly is, it certainly is. We've got some footage now of the 2008 Grand Final. Mickey Paul, you were running around in the Colts, but here is the current coach, Nick Doyle, who kicks an absolute beauty. This is the last time the Lions had their premiership, their taste of a premiership cup. What does it mean to the club to have vision like this?
I haven't actually seen that goal. I've heard a lot about it from Doyle, but we won the Colts that day as well, so that's basically our last taste of success club-wide. It's 10 years ago, so it's got a bit of...
That's just before, well, I should say the year after the TFL clubs left.
So Norfolk came in the next year, I believe.
Yeah, so is it what it's the change you've seen, particularly in Huonville? I mean, Huonville Channel, probably with the North West Coast, was the 2 strongest football communities for 30 years, producing footballers. No Commandy, no Channel. Huonville, Signet left. What's the feeling in the Valley at the moment with footy over the last 5 years?
The last 5 years I can comment on. Previous to that, probably a bit of a blur for me, being young. But the last 5 years, it's definitely a little bit of a hole in the community down at Commandy not having the footy club. Yeah. And there's a lot of... They were short-numbered and the committee wasn't there. But there still certainly seems to be a lot of people missing footy in that community.
Has there been any link back to Jeepston with the club at all?
So Signet play a couple of games a year down there, 1 or 2. We were playing a couple of games and alternating with Signet, but they've got a connection with the junior club at Commandy, so they've taken that on. And a lot of the players travel from there to Signet. We've sort of missed the boat a little bit in getting some of the Commandy guys. We've gained a couple of committee members, but probably not a lot of players, probably just 2 or 3 at the moment out of a possible 10 that are still down there, you know, feeding to Signet mainly.
Well, it's positive signs on the field for you guys as we take a quick look at the ladder here on the SFL ladder. We've got Lindisfarne and Huonville and Claremont at the top, as we can see there. Claremont are obviously the form side. How do you go up against a side like that, Mickey?
They've played one more game than I think us and maybe...
Yeah, they've played one more game than everyone and Sorrel, the only 2 teams that played 7, so...
Now joined by coach of the Brighton Robins, Matt Smith. Thanks for coming into the Duff TV studios.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Now, a 37-point loss out there at Pontville to your ex-side, New Norfolk, but I think the boys are looking okay.
Yeah, we are. We're improving every week, even though the scoreboard doesn't show that, because a lot of sides are obviously improving as well, the more games that they play. But we as a team and as a club know where we want to be, and we're quite happy the way that we're tracking at the minute. He done a full pre-season this year, and we've had a bit of a chat, Paddy and I, and we're on the same page in what we want him to do at training and where we want him to improve. He's played majority of his footy forward, but because he's such a good kick of the ball and makes good decisions and is a really good runner, we feel that he's probably most valuable to us in the back line at the minute.
Just on that, I saw the footage of the game, didn't get to see it, Matt, but Patey was one who turned the ball over a few times, but you were happy with where he was going with his decision making. Is that something you're focusing on, the decision making of the players?
Yeah, definitely. With Patey on the weekend, he did turn the footy over, a few times, but he was just following instructions from me. We want to be predictable to where we kick the footy. He was doing that. The execution wasn't there, and maybe that just comes back to game understanding a little bit, knowing when to bring it in and when not to bring it in, because there was a goal just on half-time that Norfolk kicked through a turnover, which sort of put them in front by a point.
This week the map travels to Huonville, where the Sharks cause a 1-point upset. St Virgil's take on Hutchins at the bike track. We take a look at SFLW. We chat to James Wiggins from James Wiggins Promotions. We've got Craig Martin from the North Hobart Footy Club, Furphy Play of the Day, all that and more down there at the Dodgers Ferry Sharks. Huonville, in retrospect, probably not their usual selves. It was a very contested game.
Yeah, it was really tight, and it's what Dodgers Ferry like doing. They want to keep it tight, contested. They don't leave you any space. So those guys I mentioned off the back half, they really like corralling you. And the forward entry work, Cannon was one that was fantastic up forward. Dunn was another one that was also magnificent. And that pressure, we'll see a goal in a minute from that pressure. But it was that contested style of football that they're playing at Dodgers Ferry, which has now got them in the hunt maybe for something even better.
Yeah, very clever goal there from Ward, who kicked that last goal. But in the last 9 minutes there, Peach, there was no score whatsoever. It stayed 45-44 for a long, long time in that last quarter. It was just aerial ping pong.
Yeah, it was just an unusual style of footy. In regional footy, it's a bit of a matchup, but no Mickey Paul forward, that would have hurt Huonville potentially, as his left hamstring, I think, was a little sore.
Yep.
David Hunt, though, I think he had a bit of influence. He hasn't played too much either. So it just felt neither team had a great avenue to the forward line. So they thought, let's bottle it up.
Well, Hunty started down back and then went forward for a target for them, for the Sharks. And I think what this win will do for the Dodgers...
And there's a winning goal, I think, just there.
True. That put them up by 7 points. What this win will do for a young Dodgers Ferry side is give them a bit of confidence going into the season. At this point in the season, it's terrific for them to get a win over a much more fancied Huonville Lions side.
Well, absolutely. And I don't reckon Dodgers Ferry thought that they were a team that are going to be fighting out maybe Claremont and some of the other sides in the competition for a premiership. They've now got to be saying, Dodgers Ferry, the boys from Sharkland are a chance.
It's a little bit, the north-south thing's probably died over the years. The bureaucrats made sure of that, so we don't really have that rivalry as much as now as we probably did back 15, 20 years ago. So I think an old school's SFL game would really create some heat, so it'd be a great game to be involved. We certainly know where Brighton are at their stage of this season, because we were in the same boat last year, so we also knew that this time last year we really looked at this game as a real possible win for us. So we certainly knew they'd be coming down there with that mindset. So we knew they'd be up and about, especially early. And I guess we just had a really clear instruction that we just needed to keep to our processes, keep running really hard and hopefully wear them out. And just because we knew they would flood into the middle to try and stop our run and play, and we'd have to play a bit wider, which we did.
Joined now in the studio by coach of the Lindisfarne Lady Blues, Jodie Mather. Welcome.
Hey, how you going?
Thanks for coming in. You're also the coach of the inaugural SFL Women's Rep side.
I was, yes.
Well, it was a bit of a tough day up there at York Park, but still a great experience.
Yeah, look, it was a really tough day at the office for us, but really important for female footy that we had a rep game, and obviously now we look to next year to try and improve and develop and make it a bit more competitive in the scoreline.
Of course. A couple of standouts for me were Kaylee Stubbs and Ruby Campbell, obviously players that you don't play with in your club, but they were really good.
Yeah, I've played football with Kaylee before, and she was really strong for us down back, and I guess I was a bit nervous that if we hadn't have had her, the scoreline might have been even bigger, but she was really good on the intercept for us and cleared the ball really well. And Ruby just ran all day, so she's a player from uni and a key midfield player for them, and she was really, really valuable for us. Yeah, we were a bit nervous. We came off the bye, and there was a round off a competition bye the week before, so we traditionally have been bad coming off 2 weeks, so I threatened the girls and said, you better actually bring something good, and Claremont had actually overtaken us on the ladder, so we were pumped and trying to get second spot back. Which
now, speaking of the ladder, we've got that up on screen now. The South East Suns are well and truly in charge on top, but you're happy to be in second position, that we've heard?
Yeah, look, the pressure's off us a little bit in second spot, and I think next time we play the Suns we can be competitive. They're obviously the benchmark at the moment, so I'm reasonably happy with the underdog tag. I know I walked away from that game and went, oh God, what have I done here? This is going to be a really long season. And then with so many new players to the game, the growth over following weeks was just huge. And the next time we played the Suns, we actually beat them by a point. And then we had some close encounters for the rest of the year. So, we were very excited grand final day, and I think it was something that we dreamt and hoped that we could achieve. So to actually get the win on the day was really big for us.
An incredible feat, really. And so I guess the message that you may be sending to the university sides down there, the Port, of course, New Norfolk and the Hobart Tigers, who are probably struggling at this moment. Do you have a message for them as far as their season goes this year and next year and years into the future?
Yeah, look, I think the key thing is stick with it. The results will come, and everyone has a big loss every now and then, and I think you just have to work your way through, and you see that in the men's competition. So in the AFL competition, in the statewide competitions, there are some massive margins, but if you just stick with it, you'll work through that patch and you'll attract players. And I think the key thing for female footy at the moment is just creating that pathway so there's regional clubs that girls can go and play at.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our very first edition of The Map here in the Duff TV studios. My name is Tubes Taylor, and as I say, welcome. We are going to be covering two great leagues in southern Tasmania, the SFL and the Old Scholars Football Association, thanks to the Tasmanian Football Council. I'm joined today here by my co-host, Aaron Roberts. Welcome, Aaron.
Thanks very much. Great to be here. The very first map here in the headquarters of the Duff Studios in North Hobart. It's exciting. And a commanding lead for Claremont shown on the new scoreboard, which are going to be proliferated across all grounds in Tasmania.
Everyone seems to be getting it, Aaron.
Absolutely. Marcus Parker showing some of his skills, but I managed to snowball onto that one. A little bit of conversation here, I believe. We can't lip read, but well, look, there's a 50-metre penalty. No, oh, there's a bit of a comment. Someone said something. Oh, dearie me. I think it was Benny Lovell. He's about to be shown the masculine lettuce.
Yep.
And
he says, you can go and make a bit of...
There it is.
Yep. They're all going to have a bit of salad. Off you go. Have 15 minutes.
Oh, the run of shame for Benny Lovell there. Although there was a few goals late here, and there's Murray again showing some skills, didn't he? Oh, and then Wardlaw just copped one. He's copped one from the 18-year-old Percy.
Yeah. We had a couple of younger players that really stood up for us. Some new guys as well. I thought Ollie Farrad come across from Kingston was really good. Jaden Charlton in the middle as well. Really gave us a lot of drive and a bit of grunt in there going forward against a pretty big, well-statured sort of Brighton midfielder. Strong bodies in there. So yeah, from our perspective, it's good to get the win and really tough, well thought out game.
Just touching on Brighton there, you did mention their midfield. They surprised me in the footage that we've seen, and we're playing over the top here right now. They surprised me with some of their bullock-in midfielders.
Yeah, they had a couple of really just big bulls in there. So Kyle Clark, I had a brilliant game, I thought. And I think Daniel Scott was the other one in there who played really well and really gave our midfielders a run for their money and gave the Brighton forwards first use of the ball a lot of the time.
So you've got to start building on that. As far as the club goes, if you have a profile, then you start to attract better players, better sponsors, more supporters and that sort of thing. So some of the things we're doing is developing parts of the ground like new change rooms, gymnasiums, a 200-person conference facility so that you can watch the football as well as view over the city, so that'll be going to private functions as well. So putting that all together, it builds a profile, and we've been working on that for some time. And hence this year we've probably recruited better than any other year. So we're starting to build our strength by strength, and it's a work in progress.
Does really well here to get his handball back, and it's picked up by that man there who just chips it into the middle of the ground, but coming through hard is Pate, who throws it onto the boot with a massive torpedo punt, and it dribbles through the middle for a big 6-pointer. He is the Firthy player of the day right there, Aaron. Mate, a great win on the weekend by a point up there at the TCA.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic in the end. It's a tight battle in the first quarter.
we probably dominated the second quarter but didn't quite get it on the scoreboard, and then they obviously fought back in the third quarter and got in front, and then lucky enough that big Ben Holton stood up, kicked 3 goals in 5 minutes, got us back in front, and then we're lucky to hang on from there. So.
Speaking of that tight first quarter, we managed to catch up with Mark Beck and his quarter-time address at the TCA.
They are making it a scrap, to their credit. They are making it a scrap, but then on the outside they're beating us, okay, because they're a little bit quicker to react. Remember, we talk about our starting points, and I reckon they've been really good, but then we're a bit slow to react to them on the outside, and a couple of them have got us, like Cato, like Cohen. On the spread, they've got us a little bit.
The Signet boys are looking really quick when they get a bit of movement out there.
Yeah, I think Ben Cato's doing a really good job with them. He's given lots of instructions. There's lots of kids out there that's come out of last year's Colts side.
Yep.
So, and that's the way the club's looking to build for the future, to develop the youth and keep them coming through the Southern Storm, and keep the club viable and competitive in the SFL.
In the Southern Footy League, Claremont on top by a game. Huonville had a big improvement this season, are a game behind it. And we've got a bunch of teams, Hobart, Lindisfarne and Signet.
Big win for you guys by 111 points out there at Anzac Park, mate. How did you see the game?
Yeah, pretty happy. The first half was really encouraging. We haven't been playing overly well, but the defensive part of our game was really strong early. We laid close to 50 tackles in the first half, and that allowed us to get our offence going off the back of that, so I was pretty happy. So we needed to make sure we started well and put them under pressure, and we were able to do that. And because we're pretty good on offence, when we can get enough ball in our hands, we were able to score off the back of that. Unfortunately, we weren't overly accurate, but we were able to keep the ball in our front half.
Thanks for joining us on the map there, BVK. Mate, a good start for your boys?
Yeah, pretty good start. We're trying to play pretty quick football as we normally do, so yeah, good start.
And what's the message there at quarter time?
Just keep hanging, keep kicking along to the forwards, Cass, and give us a chance to kick a few snags.
Cassidy's obviously a target down there, mate?
Oh, he always is, mate. You know, these big units, we've got to kick to him.
But their defenders are doing okay?
Yeah, they're playing really good football. Obviously, they're spreading the ball like we like to do, so we have to just defend them first and then attack and kick some goals.
Good luck in the next one, mate.
Oh, I think he's doing a fantastic job. Jock's an experienced coach, a very good coach. He's obviously a premiership coach, so he knows what he's doing. I think the biggest thing with him is he's honest. He knows where they're at, and I'd noticed a significant difference on Saturday, even though the result probably doesn't say that. You know, if you look at the second half, we've won it by 4 goals, and you can see some significant difference in the way they were playing. They look much more confident, and I think he's done a really good job with them. They're definitely on the right track.
They're just as young, if not younger, than us today. So that's a really good challenge for the boys on our home deck.
Yep.
And we're looking forward to hopefully banking the 4 points.
And there's a few lads today got some milestones. Tell us about the players that got some milestones today.
Yeah, the captain, Mark Cusick, he's playing his 200th. He's only 26, I think, so he's been here since he was a young fella, and the boys that just love him. He's just a real heart and soul of the club. And Brad Jackson, he's played 150th, but he's probably missed 150 as well through injury, so it's exciting for him to get to 150.
Just looking around the ground, it's not looking, it's a bit patchy.
Yeah.
It's give us an idea, the players in the ground here, is that what's the issue with the surface?
So we haven't had any rain down here.
Well, it's green.
Yeah, no, it's green, but yeah, it's really sandy, and just haven't had the rain, and so it's but the boys find a way to battle through with it, so they'll be a bit sore. The Norfolk boys, they're used to playing on the pristine Boyar Oval.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it's going to be a little bit sore, but the ground is getting a bit better, but yeah, it's not ideal.
All right, best of luck, David, today.
Cheers.
Hope you boys go well.
Thank you.
All right, that's the map here at Shark Park.
It's not real flash at the minute. The council's taken over it, and it's just it's sort of getting worse and worse. They've run out of bore water at the moment, and they reckon it costs $1,000 a week to keep it going, but there seems to be a lot of money going to Pembroke Park, and
all up there at the Eagles.
Not much going to Dodgers Ferry. But
well, we just got to maybe siphon some water from someone's tank or something, do we, to get that ground a bit wet, because it certainly was challenging at different stages. Who would win, Old Scholars or the SFL? If the Old Scholars play the SFL in a representative football match, who do you think would win?
I might have my money on the Old Scholars.
Yeah, okay.
I reckon we're a bit deeper in this competition.
Canteen watch here at Shark Park. Firstly, Old Scholars, if they played the SFL in a representative game next season, who do you think would win?
St Virgil's.
We've got some of the youth from the Dodgers Ferry. We've got Archie here. Archie, if the Old Scholars played the SFL next season in a representative game, who would win?
Old Scholars.
What's your answer?
SFL.
The Old Scholars.
The Old Scholars. Old Scholars.
There you go. Old Scholars are going to get it by the look of it. So a very interesting discussion here with some of the youngsters, maybe the football future here at Dodgers Ferry. Well, we met some interesting characters down there at Shark Park. A whole fortitude of people, and they love their footy. And I really enjoyed my day there. Mark, give us an idea. Were you related to a lot of those people, or you know them?
Oh yeah. Everyone sort of knows everyone down there, and everyone chips in. It's a pretty good community. Like, it's a pretty tight community down that way. You sort of have to be to run a club. But no, it's a good field down. It's pretty laid back, but it's good.
Tubes Taylor here for the map, and I'm joined by Jodie Mather, who's the SFLW coach for the rep side for 2018. Congratulations, Jodie.
Thanks, Tubes.
How does it feel to be the coach?
Oh, it's very exciting in the inaugural year to get the coaching gig, so I'm really looking forward to the game on Sunday.
And every club from SFLW is represented this year?
Yeah, we're really fortunate. We had some really good nominees, and we trained for 4 weeks and then selected a side, and it was great that we could pick someone from each of the clubs.
No, wonderful stuff. Now, what are you expecting from the NTFA up there?
Oh, they breed them tough and strong up north, so we're going to go in with a running game and hopefully run them off their feet and expose their hopeful lack of fitness.
Well, a big oval up there at UTAS Stadium.
Yep.
Have you spoken to the girls about that?
I'm going to leave that fact until Sunday, and they can appreciate the enormity when they get there.
Wonderful. And who do we expect to be the best players on the day?
Look, we've got strong players all over the ground, and that's probably one of our strengths. We've got a real depth in our squad. Melinda Green is a really strong forward up front, and we've got Amy Massey and Kaylee Stubbs who give us a real strong back end, which is great. And we've got lots of run through the midfield, so Janita Mather, Claire McManus, those guys are going to...
A delicious meal here at the Glenorchy Footy Club. I don't know whether any of you noticed, but T. Taylor, Tubes Taylor, got a couple of votes for the Brighton Footy Club. I don't even remember playing that game, guys, so thanks very much for having me. It's terrific to be there. We've now got the SFLW vote count. I'm a huge advocate for women's footy, and I know that Madeline touched on a little bit earlier, but I am absolutely loving watching the women's game grow. It's been terrific to see it grow from last year to this year, and I think that's been probably personified by the Claremont Footy Club, who have done a fantastic job to come from where you were on the ladder last year to this year. And there's some great girls out there playing great footy. I know you didn't quite get across the line 2 weeks ago, but it's fantastic to see. And I know that the Uni Footy Club and Lauderdale and Hobart and New Norfolk, who have come in this year, and Signet as well, are languishing a little bit, but I know that the only way to get better is to make sure you continue to grow amongst yourselves. So stick together for those girls that have struggled this year, as Claremont have been a prime example of how far you can come in just 12 months. But it's a fantastic season that we've had, and we're up for a massive grand final between the North Hobart Footy Club and the Lindisfarne Lady Blues. So I can't wait to watch that game on Saturday at 10 a.m. We will kick off with David Banks again, who's doing a fantastic job. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together again for David.
Right, we now move to the SFL Women's Best and Fairest medal count. Round 1. The Port versus Claremont. 1 vote, K. Main, Claremont. 2 votes, T. Dillon, Port. 3 votes, G. Bailey, Claremont. And Hobart, Lauderdale, Lindisfarne, New Norfolk, North Hobart, South East Suns and University had the bye. Round 2. New Norfolk versus Claremont. 1 vote, O. Smith, New Norfolk. 2 votes, E. Edwards, Claremont. 3 votes, G. Bailey, Claremont. North Hobart versus the Port. 1 vote, S. Hubert, Port. 2 votes, D. Elliston, North Hobart. 3 votes, K. Johnson, North Hobart. University versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, K. Teeters, Lauderdale. 2 votes, C. McManus, Lauderdale. 3 votes, C. Phillips, Lauderdale. South East Suns versus Hobart. 1 vote, A. Hardner, South East Suns. 2 votes, B. Scott, South East Suns. 3 votes, H. Scott, South East Suns. And Lindisfarne had the bye. Round 3, New Norfolk versus North Hobart. 1 vote, T. Tangata, New Norfolk. 2 votes, C. McManus, North Hobart. 3 votes, D. Elliston, North Hobart. The Port versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, M. Cohen, Port. 2 votes, B. Dickinson, Lauderdale. 3 votes, C. McManus, Lauderdale. University versus South East Suns. 1 vote, H. Scott, South East Suns. 2 votes, N. Matthews, South East Suns. 3 votes, B. Scott, South East Suns. Claremont versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, G. Bailey, Claremont. 2 votes, C. Welsh, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, Janita Mather, Lindisfarne, and Hobart had the bye. Round 4, Lauderdale versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, K. Richards, Lauderdale. 2 votes, 2 votes, T. Tangata, New Norfolk. 3 votes, C. McManus, Lauderdale. South East Suns versus the Port. 1 vote, K. Scottney, Port. 2 votes, N. Matthews, South East Suns. 3 votes, A. Hardner, South East Suns. Lindisfarne versus Hobart. 1 vote, K. Jeeves, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, Anita Silva, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, Janita Mather, Lindisfarne. North Hobart versus Claremont. 1 vote, A. Massey, North Hobart. 2 votes, G. Bailey, Claremont. 3 votes, B. Halbrith, Claremont. University had the bye. We now move to round 5. The Port versus University. 1 vote, E. Fornells Burnett, University. 2 votes, H. Upston, Port. 3 votes, A. Madsen, University. New Norfolk versus Hobart. 1 vote, D. Woolley, Hobart. 2 votes, T. Tangata, New Norfolk. 3 votes, C. J. Hobart. North Hobart versus South East Suns. 1 vote, L. Featherston, South East Suns. 2 votes, B. Scott, South East Suns. 3 votes, A. Hardner, South East Suns. Lindisfarne versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, E. Cook, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, Anita Silva, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, Janita Mather, Lindisfarne. And Claremont had the bye. We now move to round 6. The Port versus Hobart. 1 vote, T. Slater, Port. 2, J. Noy, Port. 3 votes, M. Cohen, Port. University versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, E. Kirith, University. 2 votes, Janita Mather, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, M. Fish, Lindisfarne. South East Suns versus Claremont. 1 vote, L. Featherston, South East Suns. 2 votes, A. Hardner, South East Suns. 3 votes, G. Bailey, Claremont. Lauderdale versus North Hobart. 1 vote, A. Massey, North Hobart. 2 votes, K. Teeters, Lauderdale. 3 votes, C. McManus, Lauderdale. And New Norfolk had the bye. Now move to round 7. Claremont versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, R. Stewart, Claremont. 2 votes, T. Sigley, Lauderdale. 3 votes, G. Bailey, Claremont. South East Suns versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, M. Douglas, South East Suns. 2 votes, A. Hardner, South East Suns. 3 votes, N. Matthews, South East Suns. University versus Hobart. 1 vote, L. Kwong, Hobart. 2 votes, E. Kirith, University. 3 votes, S. Aiken, University. Lindisfarne versus North Hobart. 1 vote, K. Gibbs, North Hobart. 2 votes, M. Fish, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, C. Welsh, Lindisfarne, and the Port had the bye. Now move to round 8. The Port versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, A. Knowles, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, E. Cook, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, Janita Mather, Lindisfarne. South East Suns versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, B. Malcolm, Lauderdale. 2 votes, N. Matthews, South East Suns. 3 votes, A. Hardner, South East Suns. New Norfolk versus University. 1 vote, O. Smith, New Norfolk. 2 votes, N. Matthews, South East Suns. 3 votes, A. Hardner, South East Suns. Sorry, we'll start that one again. 1 vote was O. Smith, New Norfolk. 2 votes, E. Fornells Verne, University. 3 votes, G. Patrick Populus, University. Hobart versus Claremont. 1 vote, T. Chatterton, Claremont. 2 votes, C. Reynolds, Hobart. 3 votes, G. Bailey, Claremont, and North Hobart had the bye. Round 9. The Port versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, S. Kluger, Port. 2 votes, H. Flakemore, Port. 3 votes, K. Scottney, Port. Claremont versus University. 1 vote, S. Aiken, University. 2 votes, E. Fornells Burnett, University. 3 votes, E. Edwards, Claremont. Hobart versus North Hobart. 1 vote, M. Hogarth, Hobart. 2 votes, J. Mansfield, North Hobart. 3 votes, T. Bortingin, North Hobart. Sorry about the pronunciation, but Lindisfarne versus South East Suns. 1 vote, E. Cook, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, H. Scott, South East Suns. 3 votes, B. Scott, South East Suns. And Lauderdale had the bye. Now,
well, there we go, folks. The leaderboard. Georgie Bailey up there on the top, doing a very good job on 18 votes. Janita Mather on 14. Alice Hardner on 14 as well. And Claire McManus, who's had a ripping season. Apparently she got some votes in New Norfolk versus North Hobart. She got 2 votes, so playing for Lauderdale somehow. Very well done. I very quickly would like to invite... Before I do this, I'm sitting next to John Dodd, who's from the tribunal down here. So most of you probably wouldn't like to see him, but he was telling me a little bit about his job and about how they run the tribunal here. And he was telling me his favourite story of someone coming to the tribunal. It was an umpire's escort who had been reported for abusing umpires. Probably don't want to give that human being the umpire escort job ever again, there, whoever it was. I don't know what club it was from, but it was one of his favourite stories. Very well done. Could I please have to present the leading goal kicker for the SFLW, Liberal Member for Parliament and Attorney General, Elise Archer, up to the front, please. So the 2018 leading goal kicker for SFLW from the Lindisfarne Lady Blues, Melinda Green. Alrighty, Mel. Ladies and gentlemen, Melinda's up here, and I know you're playing for the Lady Blues this weekend. Huge game coming up. How do you see it panning up against the North Hobart Demons?
It's going to be a challenge, but I think the Lady Blues can get over the line.
Righto, you kicked 47 goals, Mel, and I know you're a ripping kick of the footy. Where did you learn to kick?
I suppose playing for so many years, helps.
That's absolutely right. I guess it does. So, well done, Mel. Some of the players that you've tipped for the ladies' medal this evening?
Our very own, probably Janita Mather, and
Very Lindisfarne Lady Blues focus. Mel, very good job. Ladies and gentlemen, please put it together for Melinda Green. Thank you very much. I'm just going to ask Tony Gibson to come up to the stage to explain the presentation for the next medal. We've had a slight change to the schedule and I'm not sure what's going on.
I'd just like to ask Maddie to come up while I'm explaining this. In 2017, obviously, was the SFLW's inaugural season. And our Best and Fairest was won by Hannah Scott in 2017. But we didn't actually have a recognised medal struck in time for the presentation of the evening. So we'd like Hannah to come forward and be represented with the appropriate medal.
Hannah, do you want to have a quick chat? No, she doesn't, but we're going to make her. No, okay, you'll do it. No. All right, I'll do it. I was born in Burnie in 1982. No, you don't want to hear that. But ladies and gentlemen, please put it together for Hannah Scott there. I'll get Mr. Banks back up on stage. Now, I believe it's pronounced Patrikopoulos. Is that right? Thank you very much.
Must remember that if it comes up again. Right, we now move to round 10. Claremont versus the Port. 1 vote, M. Cohen, Port. 2 votes, Mattia Duggan, Port. 3 votes, B. McKeever, Claremont. Lauderdale versus Hobart. 1 vote, M. Hogarth, Hobart. 2 votes, K. Teeders, Lauderdale. 3 votes, C. McManus, Lauderdale. New Norfolk versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, O. Smith, New Norfolk. 2 votes, M. Green, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, C. Welsh, Lindisfarne. North Hobart versus University. 1 vote, T. Purton, North Hobart. 2 votes, S. Rose, University. 3 votes, K. Gibbs, North Hobart. South East Suns had the bye. Now move to round 11. Claremont versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, A. Smith, Claremont. 2 votes, T. Tangata, New Norfolk. 3 votes, B. McKeever, Claremont. The Port versus North Hobart. 1 vote, T. Stubbs, North Hobart. 2 votes, P. Flakemore, North Hobart. 3 votes, E. Johnston, North Hobart. University versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, K. Teeters, Lauderdale. 2 votes, S. Icon, University. 3 votes, C. McManus, Lauderdale. Hobart versus South East Suns. 1 vote, N. Matthews, South East Suns. 2 votes, L. Featherston, South East Suns. 3 votes, A. Hardner, South East Suns. And Lindisfarne had the bye. Round 12. North Hobart versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, T. Tangata, New Norfolk. 2 votes, A. Ganninan, North Hobart. 3 votes, K. Gibbs, North Hobart. Lauderdale versus the Port. 1 vote, S. Hubert, Port. 2 votes, M. Anderton, Lauderdale. 3 votes, C. McManus, Lauderdale. South East Suns versus University. 1 vote, K. Stubbs, South East Suns. 2 votes, N. Matthews, South East Suns. 3 votes, M. Sutcliffe, South East Suns. Lindisfarne versus Claremont. 1 vote, M. Green, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, Janita Mather, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, C. Welsh, Lindisfarne. And Hobart had the bye. Round 13, Lauderdale versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, K. Mass, New Norfolk. 2 votes, K. Teeters, Lauderdale. 3 votes, C. Phillips, Lauderdale. The Port versus South East Suns. 1 vote, A. Hardner, South East Suns. 2 votes, H. Upston, Port. 3 votes, C. McPherson, South East Suns. Hobart versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, M. Green, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, M. Hogarth, Hobart. 3 votes, C. Welsh, Lindisfarne. Claremont versus North Hobart. 1 vote, I. King, Claremont. 2 votes, A. Ganninan, North Hobart. 3 votes, B. McKeever, Claremont. And University had the bye. Round 14, New Norfolk versus South East Suns. 1 vote, N. Matthews, South East Suns. 2 votes, A. Hardner, South East Suns. 3 votes, L. Featherston, South East Suns. Hobart versus University. 1 vote, E. Fornells Vernay, University. 2 votes, B. McDonald, Hobart. 3 votes, R. Campbell, University. Lauderdale versus Claremont. 1 vote, B. McKeever, Claremont. 2 votes, B. Malcolm, Lauderdale. 3 votes, K. Teeters, Lauderdale. North Hobart versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, K. Jeeves, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, Janita Mather, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, C. Welsh, Lindisfarne, and Port had the bye. Now move to round 15, Hobart versus the Port. 1 vote, H. Upston, Port. 2 votes, B. McDonald, Hobart. 3 votes, K. Scottney, Port. Lindisfarne versus University. 1 vote, C. Welsh, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, M. Green, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, Janita Mather, Lindisfarne. Claremont versus South East Suns. 1 vote, B. McKeever, Claremont. 2 votes, C. Webb, Claremont. 3 votes, L. Featherston, South East Suns. North Hobart versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, A. Massey, North Hobart. 2 votes, K. Teeters, Lauderdale. 3 votes, E. Johnston, North Hobart, and New Norfolk had the bye. Now move to round 16. Lauderdale versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, Janita Mather, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, C. McManus, Lauderdale. 3 votes, E. Cook, Lauderdale. Hobart versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, K. Barker, Hobart. 2 votes, F. Langford, Hobart. 3 votes, S. Reynolds, Hobart. University versus the Port. 1 vote, H. Upston, Port. 2 votes, R. Campbell, University. 3 votes, S. Icon, University. South East Suns versus North Hobart. 1 vote, A. Hardner, South East Suns. 2 votes, K. Gibbs, North Hobart. 3 votes, L. Featherston, South East Suns. And Claremont had the bye. Round 17, Lindisfarne versus the Port. 1 vote, S. Hubert, Port. 2 votes, Janita Mather, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, M. Green, Lindisfarne. Claremont versus Hobart. 1 vote, M. Hogarth, Hobart. 2 votes, G. Bailey, Claremont. 3 votes, B. Halworth, Claremont. University versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, E. Hayter, New Norfolk. 2 votes, R. Campbell, University. 3 votes, S. Icon, University. Lauderdale versus South East Suns. 1 vote, K. Stubbs, South East Suns. 2 votes, L. Featherston, South East Suns. 3 votes, A. Hardner, South East Suns. North Hobart had the bye. We now move to round 18. And of course we had 19 rounds in the Ladies League. Lindisfarne versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, Janita Mather, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, K. Clark, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, C. Welsh, Lindisfarne. North Hobart versus University. 1 vote, S. Claridge, North Hobart. 2 votes, E. Formels, Vernay, University. 3 votes, K. Kelly, North Hobart. Hobart versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, M. Hogarth, Hobart. 2 votes, B. Dickinson, Lauderdale. 3 votes, C. McManus, Lauderdale. The Port, South East Suns and Claremont all had a bye. Final round. New Norfolk versus the Port. 1 vote, H. Flakemore, Port. 2 votes, M. Cohen, Port. 3 votes, Mattia Duggan, Port. North Hobart versus Hobart. 1 vote, F. Langford, Hobart. 2 votes, T. Borkinen, North Hobart. 3 votes, P. Flakemore, North Hobart. University versus Claremont. 1 vote, R. Campbell, University. 2 votes, B. Halberworth, Claremont. 3 votes, G. Bailey, Claremont. Lindisfarne versus South East Suns. 1 vote, L. Featherston, South East Suns. 2 votes, M. Fish, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, Janita Mather, Lindisfarne. And Lauderdale had the bye.
What an incredible count there, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable stuff in the SFLW for season 2018. Could I please ask last year's medal winner, Hannah Scott, to come and present the 2018 SFLW medal? The 2018 SFLW medal winner from Lindisfarne Lady Blues, Janita Mather. Janita, I know you've had a massive season this season. You're an absolute jet. I've watched you over the last couple of seasons in the SFLW. How does it feel to get an individual award like this?
Well, I definitely did not expect it. It was a very tough competition this year. A lot of the girls that played last year improved, and a lot of the first-timers really stepped up to the competition, and it was really exciting in seeing the improvement throughout the season.
Yeah, it really has been a wonderful improvement for the SFLW. Your season and your idols in footy, who are they?
Well, definitely my sister. So she got me into football. I remember at the start of last year I wasn't even signed up or ready to play, and was sitting around the dinner table with Dad, and he was like, why aren't you gearing up on the weekend? And I thought, I might actually give it a go. And yeah, my sister's actually taught me everything. She's an amazing coach, and definitely learn a lot from her.
Some of the peers around the top of the leaderboard that we saw a little bit earlier, Claire McManus, Georgie Bailey and co. What does it mean to pip those sort of players at the post?
Well, coming in tonight, I definitely thought Claire had it in the bag for a first-time player. I've really enjoyed playing against her. We've had a couple of good tussles out on the field, and she'll be the one to watch in the next couple of seasons.
Coming into this weekend, how are you feeling? I know I spoke to you a little bit earlier about the nerves kicking in for grand final week. How are you feeling, and how are the girls preparing?
Well, definitely waking up this morning, I knew it was grand final week. The nerves are already started. As for preparation, we're just trying not to overthink it, and just focus on the things that we do really well as a team. And I think that's something that we've got that's really helped us in throughout the season, is our unity as a team. Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the 2018 SFLW medal winner, Janita Mather. Incredible stuff there, Janita. You've had a massive season. Now, I'm going to ask Tricia Squires, the CEO of AFL Tasmania, once she's finished with her photographic formalities up here, to come up to present the Sports Trainer of the Year. Sports Trainer of the Year. Right. So just taking a quick look through that. Sorry, Trish, while you're up here. There's Georgie Bailey at the top. Incredible stuff from you in your first season of footy there. The girls from Signet did a very good job from the Port. Sorry, half a season. Yeah, right. There we go. Janita Mather and Kayla Welsh at the top there. New Norfolk had a tough season, but certainly ended up with some real positive signs on the field. Alice Hardner, very unlucky there with the last few games. And the University Footy Club, again, will grow and grow and grow. Patrick Apoulos is how you say that name, folks. That's it. All right, so thanks very much for joining us up here, Trish. We've got the sports presentation, sports trainer certificates. Yep. Yep, so we've got, in appreciation for the support of the sports trainers, this is not the Sports Trainer of the Year, this is just honourable mentions, of course. So first up, Mark Avery. Sorry, yeah, this is the nominations. Apologies, folks. Just getting it through now from the upstairs. Yep. These are the nominations for Sports Trainer of the Year. Apologies to you, Trish. You're used to dealing with the utmost professionals, not Tubes Taylor. Yep. Dennis Bird. Here he comes. Good on you, Dennis. Robert Davies. This is working really well. Yeah. No. Rob comes from the back of the room, of course, from Signet. No, it is. You come over the saddle. Well done. Anthony McSherry from the Hobart Footy Club. Yep. What we've done tonight, folks, is to just lengthen this night even further, is put all the medal winners and award winners at the back of the room. Just because we thought we might need a little bit of extra time. Well done. And the Sports Trainer of the Year for 2018 is from the Claremont Footy Club, Dennis Bird. I have no idea what's going on. Congratulations. Well done, Dennis, and thank you very much, Trish. Next up, we've got the volunteer nomination certificate presentations. For that, I'd like to invite to the stage Lindsay DaCosta from the AFL Tas Game Development. Alrighty, so club volunteers are really important, folks, and I'd just like to take this moment to acknowledge all of the volunteers. Without the volunteers around every single footy clubs don't function. So this is a really important award. First up, and I'll just ask the volunteers to please remain at the front here once you've received your certificate. So these are the volunteer nominations for Volunteer of the Year. Jodie Bird, who can't be here with us tonight unless Jodie has a beard. So we'll just get you to wait up the front there. Next up, Peter Moore from Claremont. Ivan Bell from Signet Footy Club. David Cusick from Dodgers Ferry. Thanks, David. From Hobart, Callum Upchurch. From the Huonville Lions, Wayne Thorpe. From Lauderdale Footy Club, Todd Burrows. Todd's coming from the back as well. From Lindisfarne, Bev Shadwick. Good on you, Bev. For Bev. From the North Hobart Footy Club, next up we've got Jasmine McLeod. From New Norfolk, Chris Lovell. From the Sorrel Footy Club, Karen Hansen. Thanks, Karen. From South East Suns, Lee Bygraves. And finally, from the University Football Club, Noodles Martin. His real name, folks, is Matthew. Noodles just waving to the camera. That's good, Noodles. Noodles played footy on the weekend, folks, for the Rezzies, so well done, Noodles. He's about 48 years old. Well done, mate. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for all of our wonderful volunteers. If I could have Madeline Ogilvie up to the front to present the Volunteer of the Year award, that would be wonderful. There we go. So the Volunteer of the Year award goes to, from the Huonville Lions, Wayne Thorpe. Well done, Wayne. Sure. I'll give you a quick. I said, "Do you want to say a few words there, Wayne?" And he said, "No." Okay. Now, Wayne, I know, mate. I know that volunteering is a really important part of our society, and it's huge for footy communities, mate. Tell me, in a few words, why do you do it? Why do you do it for the Huonville Lions?
Half a dozen of them are sitting over there at the table.
You do it for the people, mate. For
the people. They're a great team, great club, and go Lions Saturday.
That's right. So you're tipping the Lions on Saturday?
My word.
There we go. All right. Wayne and all of our volunteers, please put your hands together for all of these wonderful volunteers. Next up is our presentation by Mick Arnold. So Mick, if you'd like to come up. Mick is, of course, from AFL Tasmania. He's the coach development man. And we'll just go through the nominees really quickly. Again, if our nominees could come up as quickly as possible and also just stay up the front for us. From the Coach of the Year nominations are from Brighton Footy Club, Matthew Smith. You better get up again, Chris. From the Claremont Footy Club, Kim Excel. Christine, come on up. Just nominated her there. You better stay up here too, folks. From the Port Signet Footy Club, Ben Cato. From Hobart Footy Club, Nathan Hartnett. And from the Lindisfarne Lady Blues, Jodie Mather. Jodie. And the Coach of the Year presentation goes to Jodie Mather. Mick just said I should have worn my high heels there, Jodie. So, Jodie, incredible season for you and your girls.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of pressure after last year, but the season's not done yet.
It speaks volumes for you personally, Jodie, that you've been nominated amongst such incredible coaches there and to come out on top. How does that make you feel as a human being, as a coach?
I certainly don't think I'm in the same realm as the coaches that were nominated. They've got far more experience than me. I still whip out the netball drills at footy training, so I kind of make it up as I go along, and it's working so far, so we'll stick with that.
An incredible honour for you, Jodie, but the big fish is at the end of this week. How are you preparing and how are you feeling?
As Janita said, just another week, trying to keep it as normal as possible. Still enjoying the excitement of grand final week, but not trying to overthink it and just try and get out and get the job done on Saturday.
Well, we'll leave it there, Jodie. Ladies and gentlemen, the Coach of the Year for the SFL and SFLW, Jodie Mather. Alrighty, it's now time for the William Leitch Medal count. We'll head back to David Banks for our... Oh, yes, of course, I must pump up. One last thing. On top of your tables is the raffle. It's $5 a ticket for an incredible day at the footy. Sorrel know what they're talking about. They had a great time, and that'll be coming up. The raffle will be drawn very, very soon, so get on top of that very soon. David Banks, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, we'll now start the count for the Southern Football League's William Leitch Medal. Round 1. And we have a break after round 6 and round 12. So round 1, New Norfolk versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, J. Clifford, New Norfolk. 2 votes, A. Hutchinson, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, J. Howlett, Lindisfarne. Signet versus Claremont. 1 vote, N. Brown, Claremont. 2 votes, R. Smith, Claremont. 3 votes, M. Allison, Claremont. Brighton versus Sorrel. 1 vote, D. Chapman, Sorrel. 2 votes, T. Butterworth, Sorrel. 3 votes, J. Craik, Sorrel. Dodgers Ferry versus Hobart. 1 vote, J. Wilson, Dodgers Ferry. 2 votes, D. Cusick, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes, M. Yates, Hobart. And Unionville Lions had the bye. Round 2. Claremont versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, S. Hobden, Claremont. 2 votes, M. Allison, Claremont. 3 votes, N. Hobden, Claremont. Sorrel versus Cygnet. 1 vote, J. Johnson, Sorrel. 2 votes, Joseph Doreen, Cygnet. 3 votes, E. Reardon, Cygnet. Unionville Lions versus Brighton. 1 vote, M. Paul, Unionville Lions. 2 votes, Jordan Lovell, Unionville Lions. 3 votes, J. Lawler, Unionville Lions. Lindisfarne versus Dodgers Ferry. 1 vote, O. Rand, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, W. McAdam, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes, J. Dunn, Dodgers Ferry. And Hobart had the bye. We now move to round 3. New Norfolk versus Sorrel. 1 vote, J. Clifford, New Norfolk. 2 votes, B. Wardlaw, New Norfolk. 3 votes, Marcus Parker, New Norfolk. Cygnet versus Unionville Lions. 1 vote, Jordan Lovell, Unionville Lions. 2 votes, M. Schenk, Unionville Lions. 3 votes, J. Lawler, Unionville Lions. Brighton versus Hobart. 1 vote, J. Hadfield, Hobart. 2 votes, J. Charlton, Hobart. 3 votes, L. Azzopardi, Hobart. Claremont versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, B. Lang, Claremont. 2 votes, S. Hobden, Claremont. 3 votes, M. Allison, Claremont. And Dodgers had the bye. Round 4. Unionville Lions versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, J. Lawler, Unionville Lions. 2 votes, B. Wardlaw, New Norfolk. 3 votes, R. Ward, Unionville Lions. Sorrel versus Claremont. 1 vote, J. Craik, Sorrel. 2 votes, N. Hobden, Claremont. 3 votes, S. Jones, Claremont. Dodgers Ferry versus Brighton. 1 vote, W. McAdam, Dodgers Ferry. 2 votes, J. Bullock, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes, J. Murphy, Dodgers Ferry. Hobart versus Cygnet. 1 vote, L. Sullivan, Hobart. 2 votes, A. Palmer, Cygnet. 3 votes, B. Halton, Cygnet. And Lindisfarne had the bye. We now move to round 5. New Norfolk versus Hobart. 1 vote, M. Yates, Hobart. 2 votes, L. Sullivan, Hobart. 3 votes, M. Horn, New Norfolk. Cygnet versus Dodgers Ferry. 1 vote, J. Monks, Dodgers Ferry. 2 votes, E. Reardon, Cygnet. 3 votes, Toby Cohen, Cygnet. Claremont versus Unionville Lions. 1 vote, M. Paul, Unionville Lions. 2 votes, J. Lawler, Huonville Lions. 3 votes, M. Allison, Claremont. Lindisfarne versus Sorrel. 1 vote, J. Triffett, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, M. Cassidy, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, K. Miller, Lindisfarne, and Brighton had the bye. Now move to round 6. Dodgers Ferry versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, D. Cusick, Dodgers Ferry. 2 votes, M. Horn, New Norfolk. 3 votes, J. Murphy, Dodgers Ferry. Brighton versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, F. Morrison, Brighton. 2 votes, J. Miller, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, J. Young, Lindisfarne. Hobart versus Claremont. 1 vote, M. Allison, Claremont. 2 votes, S. Hughes, Claremont. 3 votes, R. Smith, Claremont. Huonville Lions versus Sorrel. 1 vote, J. Byers, Sorrel. 2 votes, Jordan Lovell, Huonville Lions. 3 votes, M. Paul, Huonville Lions. And Signet had the bye. Now pass on to Tubes.
All right, there we go. Your leaderboard, ladies and gentlemen. Up the top there, Marty Allison in front of Mr. Lawler from Huonville Lions. Sneaking through there. Dodgers Ferry getting pretty rowdy as well on the table. Few beers flowing there. Could we please have the coach of the SFL rep team this year to come and present the Hodgman Medal winner for the best player in the SFL rep game? Coming up, Johnny. Good jacket. And the winner of the Hodgman Medal for 2018 was Daniel Scott, who's at the bar. We purposely made him run to the back of the room before we announced he won. Well done, Daniel. All right, Daniel, see you later. No, it's got to run back and hydrate, of course. Well done. We'll also get Tony Gibson to come on up and present the leading goal kicker for the seniors. Gibbo. The leading goal kicker with a massive 64 goals from the Lindisfarne Two Blues, Michael Cassidy. Tyler Bowden there just missed out by 1 goal after a massive big shootout in the last round. Rightio, big Cass, mate. I know that you've jagged a few bags this year, and your body's feeling pretty good, you were saying earlier.
Yeah, it's come well in the second half of the year. So started a bit slow, but got better as the year went on, and feeling good.
Mate, this individual stuff I know probably doesn't mean a lot to you. What are you looking forward to this week as far as being in the grand final? I mean, there's a bit of talk about the Lindisfarne Footy Club. You got 4 teams in 4 finals. It must feel pretty good.
Yeah, 4 teams in is something special, and I don't think it's been done before. So, look, we went to train tonight and just talked about going through the way we've been doing for the last sort of 10 to 12 weeks. I think our footy's been the best it's been, so we'll hopefully take that into Saturday.
Were you surprised that Huonville got over the top of Claremont?
Not really. Look, they're pretty even across the board, Huonville, so they'll be a strong team, no doubt, come Saturday, and we look forward to the challenge.
Well, Cass, all the best for Saturday, mate, and congratulations on your big win of the leading goal kicker for 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Cassidy. Alrighty, we'll head back to David there for the next rounds of votes.
Right, we'll move back to round 7. Cygnet versus Brighton. 1 vote, Joseph Doreen, Cygnet. 2 votes, W. Ford, Cygnet. 3 votes, A. Palmer, Cygnet. Claremont versus Dodgers Ferry. 1 vote, J. Young, Dodgers Ferry. 2 votes, M. Allison, Claremont. 3 votes, J. Crossan, Claremont. Sorrel versus Hobart. 1 vote, J. Cure, Sorrel. 2 votes, J. Charlton, Hobart. 3 votes, S. Reeves, Hobart. Lindisfarne versus Huonville Lions. 1 vote, M. Schenk, Huonville Lions. 2 votes, R. Ward, Huonville Lions. 3 votes, M. Paul, Huonville Lions. New Norfolk had the bye. Round 8, Brighton versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, J. Wigg, New Norfolk. 2 votes, F. Morrison, Brighton. 3 votes, M. Horn, New Norfolk. Cygnet versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, J. Howlett, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, Mitchell Doreen, Cygnet. 3 votes, M. Cassidy, Lindisfarne. Dodgers Ferry versus Sorrel. 1 vote, J. Bullock, Dodgers Ferry. 2 votes, J. Young, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes, D. Cusick, Dodgers Ferry. Hobart versus Huonville Lions. 1 vote, C. Newman, Hobart. 2 votes, J. McIndoe, Huonville Lions. 3 votes, J. Lawler, Huonville Lions. And Claremont had the bye. Move to round 9. New Norfolk versus Cygnet. 1 vote, Marcus Parker, New Norfolk. 2 votes, Toby Cohen, Cygnet. 3 votes, M. Horn, New Norfolk. Brighton versus Claremont. 1 vote, B. Lang, Claremont. 2 votes, L. Potter, Claremont. 3 votes, M. Allison, Claremont. Huonville Lions versus Dodgers Ferry. 1 vote, J. Young, Dodgers Ferry. 2 votes, J. Lawler, Huonville Lions. 3 votes, J. Murphy, Dodgers Ferry. Lindisfarne versus Hobart. 1 vote, L. Sullivan, Hobart. 2 votes, D. Blaisley, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, L. Swinton, Lindisfarne. And Sorrel had the bye. Now move to round 10. Lindisfarne versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, M. Howe, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, M. Horn, New Norfolk. 3 votes, K. Miller, Lindisfarne. Claremont versus Cygnet. 1 vote, L. O'Neill, Cygnet. 2 votes, B. Cato, Cygnet. 3 votes, B. Halton, Signet. Sorrel versus Brighton. 1 vote, C. Workman, Sorrel. 2 votes, W. Lyon, Sorrel. 3 votes, J. Byers, Sorrel. Hobart versus Dodgers Ferry. 1 vote, D. Hunt, Dodgers Ferry. 2 votes, Z. Lucas, Hobart. 3 votes, L. Sullivan, Hobart. And Huonville Lions had the bye. Now move to round 11. New Norfolk versus Claremont. 1 vote, J. Clifford, New Norfolk. 2 votes, B. Lovell, New Norfolk. 3 votes, R. Heron, New Norfolk. Signet versus Sorrel. 1 vote, Joseph Doreen, Signet. 2 votes, W. Ford, Signet. 3 votes, Toby Cohen, Signet. Brighton versus Huonville Lions. 1 vote, J. Lawler, Huonville Lions. 2 votes, J. McIndoe, Huonville Lions. 3 votes, M. Schenk, Huonville Lions. Dodgers Ferry versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, D. Zantuck, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, J. Young, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes, D. Blazely, Lindisfarne. And Hobart had the bye. Now move to round 12. Sorrel versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, J. Craik, Sorrel. 2 votes, A. Burgess, New Norfolk. 3 votes, M. Horn, New Norfolk. Huonville Lions versus Signet. 1 vote, A. Palmer, Signet. 2 votes, J. Lawler, Huonville Lions. 3 votes, T. Barnett, Huonville Lions. Hobart versus Brighton. 1 vote, D. Scott, Brighton. 2 votes, J. Charlton, Hobart. 3 votes, L. Sullivan, Hobart. Lindisfarne versus Claremont. 1 vote, M. Hutchinson, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, K. Miller, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, M. Cassidy, Lindisfarne. And Dodgers had the bye. Now hand back to for Tubes.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome to the stage, representing the Huon News, Matthew Nofke. This is the Huon News Media Award that the Huon News vote on every single week. And in a first, we actually have a 3-way tie for the Huon News Media Award. So could you please put your hands together for Martin Allison, Luke Sullivan and Jared Lawler. Coming up, you guys, coming up. Sully isn't here, so we'll get Becky up to accept on his behalf. Well done, Marty. Jared Lawler. Bit more. No, you can get in there, Becky, on behalf. No, you'll get in the photo. Get in the. No, we'll do it all together up here in a 3-way. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Jared Lawler, Martin Allison, and Luke Sullivan. All right. Just drawing the raffle now. Getting a few death stares as well. Just one, is it? One ticket? All right. Get your raffle tickets out. It is time. It's a purple ticket. Oh. It is a purple D. It's got a 5 in it. It's got a 7 in it. D57. Cassidy/Swinton have won the corporate box, and they are playing in the game. So well done, Cass and Swinner. You guys can either choose to play in a grand final or go and get blind. Either way, I'm sure you'll have a good time. We will now continue on with the William Leitch Medal count with Mr. Banks. Coming up, David.
Right, we now move to round 13. New Norfolk versus Huonville Lions. 1 vote, Jay Wigg, New Norfolk. 2 votes, Jay Daly, New Norfolk. 3 votes, Marcus Parker, New Norfolk. Signet versus Hobart. 1 vote, L. Sullivan, Hobart. 2 votes, T. Robinson, Hobart. 3 votes, Toby Cohen, Signet. Brighton versus Dodgers Ferry. 1 vote, J. Siggins, Dodgers Ferry. 2 votes, M. Cusick, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes, J. Young, Dodgers Ferry. Claremont versus Sorrel. 1 vote, I. Bateman, Sorrel. 2 votes, L. Potter, Claremont. 3 votes, N. Hobden, Claremont. And Lindisfarne had the bye. Now move to round 14. Hobart versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, Z. Ord, Hobart. 2 votes, L. Sullivan, Hobart. 3 votes, T. Robertson, Hobart. Dodgers Ferry versus Signet. 1 vote, Mitchell Doreen, Signet. 2 votes, J. Siggins, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes, D. Hunt, Dodgers Ferry. Huonville Lions versus Claremont. 1 vote, J. Steele, Huonville Lions. 2 votes, L. Potter, Claremont. 3 votes, Z. Bainton, Claremont. Sorrel versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, J. Narco, Sorrel. 2 votes, B. Tennick, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, T. Pears, Sorrel. And Brighton had the bye. Now move to round 15. New Norfolk versus Dodgers Ferry. 1 vote, J. Young, Dodgers Ferry. 2 votes, M. Cusick, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes, B. Richmond, Dodgers Ferry. Lindisfarne versus Brighton. 1 vote, J. Mitchell, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, D. Blaisley, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, B. Tennick, Lindisfarne. Claremont versus Hobart. 1 vote, D. Fox, Claremont. 2 votes, T. Robertson, Hobart. 3 votes, M. Allison, Claremont. Sorrel versus Huonville Lions. 1 vote, J. Narco, Sorrel. 2 votes, R. Ward, Huonville Lions. 3 votes, J. Lawler, Huonville Lions. By Signet. Round 16. Brighton versus Cygnet. 1 vote, S. Stewart, Brighton. 2 votes, Joseph Doreen, Cygnet. 3 votes, Toby Cohen, Cygnet. Dodgers Ferry versus Claremont. 1 vote, M. Cusick, Dodgers Ferry. 2 votes, J. Siggins, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes, T. Mayhew, Dodgers Ferry. Hobart versus Sorrel. 1 vote, A. Bresnahan, Sorrel. 2 votes, L. Sullivan, Hobart. 3 votes, L. Azzopardi, Hobart. Huonville Lions versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, S. Adams, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, B. Tennick, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, K. Miller, Lindisfarne. And New Norfolk had the bye. Now move to round 17. New Norfolk versus Brighton. 1 vote, N. Eisel, New Norfolk. 2 votes, B. Wardlaw, New Norfolk. 3 votes, M. Horn, New Norfolk. Lindisfarne versus Cygnet. 1 vote, J. Brereton, Cygnet. 2 votes, M. Blackburn, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, J. Howlett, Lindisfarne. Sorrel versus Dodgers Ferry. 1 vote, J. Johnson, Sorrel. 2 votes, W. McAdam, Dodgers Ferry. 3 votes, J. Dunn, Dodgers Ferry. Huonville Lions versus Hobart. 1 vote, J. McIndoe, Huonville Lions. 2 votes, S. Reeves, Hobart. 3 votes, L. Sullivan, Hobart, and Claremont had the bye. We now move to round 18, the final round. Hobart versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, B. Tennick, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, L. Sullivan, Hobart. 3 votes, M. Cassidy, Lindisfarne. Claremont versus Brighton. 1 vote, S. Hobden, Claremont. 2 votes, T. Bowden, Claremont. 3 votes, S. Jones, Claremont. Cygnet versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, B. Halton, Cygnet. 2 votes, Joseph Doreen, Cygnet. 3 votes, M. Horn, New Norfolk. Dodgers Ferry versus Huonville Lions. 1 vote, M. Young, Dodgers Ferry. 2 votes, C. Rawson, Huonville Lions. And 3 votes, J. Lawler, Huonville Lions.
Incredible count there, ladies and gentlemen. And there is your leaderboard. Jared Lawler, Mark Horn, Marty Allison, Luke Sullivan. Incredible count. Incredible stuff. Could we please have Madeline Ogilvie up to present the 2018 William Leitch Medal? Please put your hands together for the 2018 William Leitch medalist, Jared Lawler from the Huonville Lions. Jared, mate, you're a bit surprised there, Cobber.
Very, very surprised. Yeah, I thought Marty had it in the bag.
Yeah, Marty Allison did have a fantastic season, and Horny as well from the New Norfolk Footy Club, mate. I know I've said it to everyone that's won an individual award this week, but this must mean something, mate. The best player in the SFL.
I wouldn't say I'm the best player. I'd say Mickey Paul's the best player by a country mile. But yeah, most votes. I'm very humbled and honoured, to be honest. My teammates joked that I should have written a speech tonight, but I thought they were taking the piss. So firstly, shout out to Marty on a fantastic year. If we can put our hands together for Marty Allison as well. And also Horny as well. But yeah, as you said, we don't play for these awards. I never would have thought in my wildest dreams I'd be winning this, to be honest. We've got bigger fish to fry on Saturday, so that's our main focus.
That is your main focus, and it must be good to have Mickey Paul back after a bit of a mid-season break. How do you go into this week, mate? I know this may put a little bit of extra pressure on you, but are you just taking it one day at a time? How are you treating this week?
Yeah, exactly. We look at it as though Lindisfarne are sort of the favourites. They've been the top team all year. We're sort of the battler, the underdog, the people's team, we like to look at it. So we're just going to go about our footy the way we've been going and hopefully surprise a few people and get the win.
Well, Jared, mate, congratulations on your win. There's your little box to keep your award there, but best of luck for Saturday.
Thanks, mate. Go Lions.
Now we've got a very special presentation, of course. This one is the Bibby Shield. The Bibby Shield is awarded to the club with the most points as far as the ladder goes, as we'll see up here. Now, the award will be presented by Tony Gibson. He's going to need a fork truck to get the Bibby Shield out. It's a big shield. There it is. Dodgers Ferry are having a great time. A great time. And the Bibby Shield this year goes to the Lindisfarne Footy Club. We can get the President, Martin Trinder, up to accept the award on behalf of the Lindisfarne Footy Club. We might actually need Cass to come and give him a hand too, because he's only a little fella. Martin, this award means that, we saw last year New Norfolk won it, and this year the Lindisfarne Footy Club has it. You've got 4 teams in the finals. What does that mean for you as the president of a footy club?
Right now, after the last decade that we've added the fun, mate, I can't say anything. All I can say is we're there on Saturday and we're a chance.
Yep, and what does it mean for you to win this award, to have such consistency across your whole club?
It's fantastic actually for the entire club to know that we've been a good team across every type of competition in the competition, and as stupid as that sounds, but it's been great. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Martin, all the best for all 4 grades this Saturday, and take care, mate, and best of luck on Saturday afternoon. He just asked me where that goes. Mate, I think you get to take it home. I don't know, don't put it on Gumtree or anything like that. That pretty much wraps up this evening's formalities, folks. There you can see that Hobart were pretty lucky as well and we're going through the Ferg. Well done, mate. It's one of my favourite players in the whole league, Ferg. But we'll pass over to Tony Gibson. Thanks very much for giving me the honour of hosting your evening. Hopefully we will see you. Hopefully I will see you. There's been a couple of slip-ups, but it's not the end of the world. But best of luck to all of the teams playing on Saturday, and may the best team win. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tubes. On behalf of the SFL, I'd like to pay a few acknowledgements this evening. My first one does go to Tubes. Thanks very much for being our MC for the evening. You've done a marvellous job, so thanks, Tubes. To Mick Arnold. Mick Arnold's the one behind the scenes that's put this PowerPoint presentation together, and there is probably hundreds of hours that goes into the production of this night behind the scenes. So thank you very much, Mick. Hobart Events, Paul Harris over the back there, sitting quietly, pressing the buttons away, but again, lots of hours going into the setup from his side of the scale of things, so thanks, Paul. To Martin Duffy, Duff TV, Jerry over there on the headphones over there. Thanks very much, guys, for the presentation this evening with the live stream of the William Leitch count. We will be live streaming the women's game on Saturday only from North Hobart Oval. All the other games will be shown on a delayed telecast. Also, acknowledgement to the clubs and their cooperation throughout the season in providing players, to the weekly media conferences that Duff has recorded for release to YouTube. So thanks to the clubs for that cooperation. To the Huon News, thank you very much for your continued support of the Media Player of the Year each year. The umpires do a great job in casting their votes for that award, and to come up with a three-way tie, obviously very good performance by all those players and a lot of other players that were hotly on their heels in a very consistent season of competition of all clubs. Also like to acknowledge AFL Tasmania for their support. Trish, thanks very much for your support. Lee Elder in the women's space, Lindsay in your role, football development, so thank you very much. But also like to acknowledge one person that left the scene during the season and has moved on, who's been a tremendous ally of mine in the time that he was in the position. That's Jackson Hill. So I'd like everyone to put their hands together for Jackson, even though he's not here. To the TFUA, Jeff, on behalf of the SFL and member clubs, we thank the TFUA for their support, and also your offsiders in Damien Oxley and Lynette and Kevin and the other coaches for getting the crews out on the ground every week. Thank you. Tubes has already mentioned John Dodd and his tribunal members do a wonderful job. They've probably had a pretty lean year this year, which is excellent to be able to say that, in that we don't have too many misdemeanours going on the field. So thanks, John, and your team. My last thank you is for those people behind the scenes that helped put the SFL Rip Games on the field this season. A big shout out to Jody Mather, Greg Grubb, Andrew Lehman as a first aider for getting the SFL inaugural women's team together, several weeks of training and their trip to Launceston to play the Northern team. We look forward to coming back year in, year out to make that an annual match. So thanks to those members. And my last acknowledgement for this evening is to the guys that took on the SFL men's rep team at the last minute. Shout out to John Murray. Thanks, Muzza, for putting on a brave face and a terrific effort in guiding the players on the day. I know that the players that represented the team gave it their utmost. You led them very well. Your speech to them during the game and post-game was really welcome and spoke highly of the credentials of the players that represented this league. To Josh Clifford and Mark Beck that also supported you on the day, thanks very much for helping as coaches. Also to Damien Godfrey, who was our trainer for that game. Damien's been our trainer for several years for rep teams, so thanks Damien for that. And the very last acknowledgement is to Chris Goodluck of the Brighton Club, who was team manager of that team, and Chris has been a team manager of Southern representative teams for a number of seasons, so thanks very much, Chris, for your continued support. Look forward to seeing everybody at the football at North Hobart on Saturday. 9:30 we have the women, Lindisfarne versus North Hobart. 11:30 we have the reserves, Lindisfarne versus Claremont. 2 o'clock the main game, the game everyone's been waiting all year to occur. We didn't know which teams we were going to get. Lindisfarne versus the Huonville Lions. And to round out the day at just after 5 p.m. in the Colts, Lindisfarne versus the Southern Storm. Good luck to all the players this coming weekend and the chosen umpires as well. Thank you all. Enjoy your evening. Drive safely.
Ogilvy, a great evening, wasn't it?
Fantastic. It's just grown every year. So exciting to see everybody in the room. We've got so many more women players in the room. It's a great night.
Yeah, it was fantastic to see Janita Mather win the SFLW medal after her second season. She's been fantastic.
Look, the women have just improved dramatically. Not only have these teams come along, the players have come along, but our coaches are fantastic. And I heard them talk about using some netball training techniques. I'm a netballer, so I think it's fantastic. And we've got a couple of new teams coming on board with the women's comp next year as well. So it's just growing every year. It gets bigger and better.
It certainly is. And Jared Lawler, a very deserving winner. Very tight at the end of the round there. Over the top of Horn from New Norfolk and Marty Allison from the Claremont Footy Club. Just signifies how close our competition is.
Look, we put a lot of effort into getting those levels right and evening up the competition, making sure that the clubs are well funded, they're able to get those players on the field. And I think it's showing because the comp's even, it's a really good competitive game now for us, and the atmosphere in the room tonight is just fantastic.
It was, wasn't it? And finally, I know that you're not being the president, I know, but in the women's we got Lindisfarne playing North Hobart. Your tip?
Yeah, look, I reckon it's going to be a draw.
Right.
It'll be a high-scoring draw.
And in the seniors, we've got Huonville and Lindisfarne.
Yeah, look, it's too close to call.
I won't put any more pressure on you.
You can't put the pressure on me. I'm going for the Swans, I can say that. That's a different competition.
Yeah.
Look, I think please come along to the game, get along, come and see the women play early in the day. The reserves are going to be fantastic. The seniors is always a huge day for us. The weather's going to be great. It's going to be a great crowd, so really just get everyone to come along and have a fun day at the footy.
Definitely get along to North Hobart Oval on Saturday out there, folks. Madeline, thanks so much for joining us here.
You did a great job.
Thank you so much, and until we see you next time, folks, take care. My name's Tubes Taylor. We'll see you at the footy.